Wake up, Cole.
Hey, what in the wide world of sports is going on around here?
Time for another show, man.
Boy.
It's that time again.
Hell yes.
Back again.
It's time to get it on.
Damn right it
Woo!
is, man. It just felt like yesterday that we did.
Hell yeah. I'm pumped, brother.
It was what, a week ago we were here?
Yeah.
And ain't done shit in between.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can speak for yourself, but yeah.
What you done? Ain't
you know what I did? Maybe we'll talk about the yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we won't.
All right, we'll get into that in a little while. But first of all, people, forgive us if there's a hiss or something in the background. It's hot in here.
It is super as hot. My metal is. I'm sweating oil right now.
Is that what that is down
coming
there?
out of my metal pores.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. I thought it was coming out of something down there. I didn't know that little puddle underneath you.
No, you thought I was turning into one of those zombies from Wreck or something? No, this is it is hot in this bitch.
Yeah, I had to cut the air conditioner on, so I was trying to be professional so that you wouldn't hear any kind of hiss going on in the background.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to sacrifice something.
And we are in Texas, and it is winter time. So
and
when
winter
it gets
time,
winter, whoo, does it get hot?
It is like, it's the middle of February. It is like 70-something degrees outside, and that means that it turns like about 100 in this room.
Right. Goddamn global warming.
Right here in this room.
Exactly.
It's like the hole in the ozone layer is over there in my bathroom. So,
you can only imagine what's going on in Corey's pants.
Exactly, man.
Oh, boy.
Man, we got a lot to talk about.
This
week. We do. It's a lot of stuff I want to cover here.
We're gonna cover it all, Corey.
Man, I want to talk about the media. Because we're talking about Christian Bale. But that's over and done with.
Right.
But I want to talk about the fallout from that, because it's not just him.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody. I mean, it's
all these
Aquaman. All these.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Aquaman.
We're gonna talk about Aquaman getting busted.
Yeah, and how everybody just blowing everything out of proportion here.
Yeah.
But so, why don't you tell people what we do here, man, before we get started?
Well, everyone should know by now what we do, man. We just hang out. We shoot the shit, Corey.
Exactly. We just bullshit with each other, man.
That's right. And we get crazy up in here.
But see, our bullshit, it ain't like what other people do when they bullshit.
Oh, no. When we bullshit, we change the world, Corey.
You damn right we do. Mm-hmm. This new black president we got, Barack Obama.
Yep. You can thank us.
That comes from our bullshit.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Next year you can count on peace in the Middle East.
That's right. Peace in the Middle East. You can count on Six Flags in Israel. All because of us. Yes.
We're gonna solve it all, man. But not only are we solving the world's problems with our bullshit, but this site is about the people out there on Spill.com.
Yeah,
man.
the little people.
The little people, the big people, the fat people, the skinny people.
Ugly people, the smelly people.
All of them. We love all
transsexual people.
We want to make you feel like you part of something.
That's right.
We're here to make you feel like
you're
part of the gang.
If the world doesn't want you, we'll take you in.
And that's the way it usually works.
Yes. We have usually no choice.
We getting the dregs of society out here.
It is the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we make you feel like you're a part of something.
Yeah. We try. I don't know what we're exactly a part of.
Making the nobodies feel like somebodies. The somebodies feel like
nobodies. Feel like nobodies. That's right.
Exactly. So we'll have you.
Yes.
And
Goo gaga.
A part of all that, making you feel like you're a part of something, we read your emails here too.
That is right.
We take time out to read several emails.
That is right. All the emails.
All these dumbass questions you asking.
We spent 5 hours answering your goddamn emails, and I had to suffer.
Exactly.
But I still did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Hey, we did it for you.
That's right, because you're one of us. One of us. One of us.
Goo
gabba.
Yeah. Oh man.
Woo. Well, shit, Corey. I mean, I think it's about that time, brother.
It is about that time. Now, people, you heard what we do.
Yeah.
Did you write this down? Did you get it down?
That's right.
Okay.
If you don't have nothing to write it with, prick your finger and write it in blood.
Get your crowns out and write it down. Like my mother, she puts R's in words that don't mean R's.
Oh, really?
But we'll get in that in a little while.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. I'm sorry, the damn public school system.
It was way before that. My mother.
No, there was no school. There was no system.
My mother went to school in an outhouse, so you can't blame her. But we told people what the show's about. Gave them time to write it down.
Yep.
Talked about my mother and her uneducated ass.
Oh, damn.
So now I'm ready, man.
I'm ready.
Well, if you ready,
I know you're ready.
All these people out here ready.
Let's do this. No, fuck no.
What? You all right? What is that?
Don't you understand? come on, Corey.
Oh, that's your boy
That's
going
my music.
crazy.
That's my boy. He can act and he can sing.
I just love that. When you know what my favorite part of that whole rant is?
What?
When he told that dude, you just walk in front of the camera.
I
He
tell you
was going
what,
off.
you got everything. You got music in that. You got superior acting and comedy.
You got drama.
all wrapped in one package.
All in a 3-minute clip.
Christian Bale's a goddamn genius.
Even when he ain't acting, he's acting.
That's a movie right there. He just walking around getting pissed.
Like I said, people, that's something that's already happened.
Yes,
but,
that is in the past.
But I just want to touch on something here before we go any further.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Look, the media has gone crazy. All right.
The media has been.
I'm looking
crazy.
at this shit they did with Christian Bale.
Yep.
I'm looking at the stuff now that they've done with Michael Phelps.
Mm-hmm.
I call him Aquaman.
I call him Aquaman. Yeah,
that is his name, Michael Phelps. Right? Yeah,
no,
the
it's
swimmer,
Aquaman,
the Olympic
yeah.
swimmer.
I was like, yeah, the guy's smoking dope. Everyone's giving him a hard time. I mean, the guy freaking talks to fish. All right,
Exactly, man.
He has to be on something. He talks to fish, and he tells us this.
See, if you've been under a rock or in a cave or somewhere, I don't know where the hell you've been. If you haven't heard about Christian Bale going crazy, I mean,
Right.
it's been out for a week. It's over and done.
God,
Christian
yeah.
Bale even come out and said, "I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
There were hour-long episodes, entertainment episodes devoted to Christian Bale being crazy.
They got this song playing in the gay clubs. There's been a Christian Bale remix playing over the oil can Harry's. All
Right.
the gay people are dancing to
Hey,
it.
that's a good song.
I know. You and me, man, we're done professionally. So, man, but what made me mad was not that. It's when people came out. Now, you got these talk shows and these tabloids and these gossip shows coming out saying,
Oh, yeah.
what's wrong with Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Does he need help?
Yeah, they bring
Is he
out
an
these
alcoholic?
Yeah, and they bring out these analysts that they pull out of their ass to basically try to tear apart a simple tape of a guy flipping out on another dude because he was fucking up at his job. I mean, for crying out loud, you're gonna make an hour-long episode about that shit. I mean, what happened to the days where men could be men and fucking yell at people, and it was not a big deal. I mean, hell, they could have recorded your father screaming, and they would have had a whole series of episodes based on how your father's crazy.
Oh, man, we would have had a live-in analyst with us if he heard some of the shit we went through in my house. I mean, goddamn, back in the day, people used to go out in the middle of the street and shoot each other something like
Exactly.
this. Now people just blow off steam by yelling, and you want to come in and say,
Yeah.
I believe this man needs anger management.
Oh, my God.
I was like, look, man, I mean, I've done it.
Right.
I've gotten angry. I mean, it's notorious now.
I've seen it.
The story about me throwing a chair. I mean, I threw a chair. I
You
mean,
threw
now,
a goddamn
shit, they would have
chair.
had me taken out in a straitjacket.
You were throwing furniture.
You
my friend.
motherfuckers, get off me! I want to throw the table next. No, it's man. So people blow up, man. I mean,
Yep.
there's even been places in an office setting where somebody has gone nuts.
You ever heard of anybody going postal?
Yeah, at least nobody.
It happens. Yeah, nobody. And you know what? And when Christian Bale did it, he was only yelling. He didn't bust out a gun. I don't think we need to have analysts telling us, man, this guy is fucking crazy. He is crazy. And you know what? I think he has a serious problem. I think there's something more to it than just him yelling. I think he has some seeded kind of just darkness about him. I think he's on drugs. And
Is that what that analyst
And I
said?
swear to God, that's what one of the analysts said, that they thought he was he was hiding some dark secret. Yeah, I was like, isn't this slander? When you're accusing a guy of using drugs and just being nuts?
Now
And,
that's
I
the
mean,
guy I wish Christian Bale would come out and yell at.
Exactly. And all
That-
I thought when I actually watched and I heard that, I was like, dude, you better just watch you better watch the fuck out, because the Dark Knight is gonna swoop on your ass. He's gonna throw you off. He's gonna throw you off about 5 feet in the air and break your goddamn
ankles and shit, yeah.
and then he's gonna go, what? No, fuck no.
And then he really will be crazy. Christian Bale dresses up like Batman and throws a guy off a building. Okay, now you can talk about him if he does
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
But the guy, look,
No.
he apologized back.
He did,
in
and
July.
apparently that was, well, the funny thing is that an article came out with the guy who yelled at, where the guy just came out and said, hey, look, it's unfortunate this whole thing blew up to this big of a deal, but we're friends. We hang out. I've worked with him on another movie. I fucked up, and that's it.
And
the guy
that's
just
it,
lost
yeah.
the guy just lost it because it was a crazy scene. It was a scene they've been shooting for like forever because it was the heart of the film where they needed to get it right.
We mentioned all this.
Yeah,
It was the hard-
and the guy just said, hey, man, I fucked up, all right? But this happened in July.
But see, and people, I know you're rolling your eyes and you're saying right now, "Oh, Jesus, we're talking about Christian Bale." It's not. It's not about Christian.
It's
Bale.
not. No,
it's about how the media will take something and just to make it news, will blow it out of proportion because they recently did this with Michael Phelps. Now, I know Michael Phelps smoked weed, okay, and big deal.
Right.
I mean, look, we got fucking Aquaman walking amongst us. We got like this perfect specimen who can like you say swim. He can swim fast. The guy's got what, like a billion gold medals.
Exactly.
Like you said, he's probably talking to fish. You know,
He
he walks
is
in the
talking
room
to
and the
fish.
goldfish.
He has to be. Yeah.
Goldfish sitting up there saying, "Man, what the fuck, Mike? You just smoked some weed. What's going on?" Man? I know, man.
I know, and it's all based on a picture that some jackass put up on Facebook, and you're like, you know what? I mean, number one, they want to charge them. Like, how do you charge somebody with a picture? I mean, but the picture doesn't even show him like smoking, though, right?
But
am I right?
I don't know. Honestly,
I
I don't
haven't
know where
even
it
seen
came
the
from.
picture. Because
I'm reading all the fallout from.
Right, I do read. I hear it all just from what everyone else is talking about. Because after the Christian Bale thing, and then they started going after this guy, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm done. I'm done watching these shows about this shit. And not so much that I'm looking to see these type of shows, but they're just on all the time. You can't escape them, and you have people like, obviously it gives something for people to talk about at work, but, and you'll hear it whether you want to or not. And it's sad just because it's like, you know what? Isn't there a war going on? Isn't there like
there's serious shit happening?
Aren't there like businesses like closing down right now?
I mean, we're in the middle of an economic crisis, and you want to like jump on Christian Bale and Michael Phelps and whoever else. My point is that the media will, and when I say the media, I'm talking about all forms of it, anywhere from the local news to your tabloid shows, to your tabloids at the newsstand, to these dimwits who host these gossip shows and fucking TMZ and things like that.
Yeah,
I mean, they practically want to vilify something. To make news out of it.
And that's the only way you can do it these days. That's the only way you can make news of this bullshit. And the sad thing is that, obviously it wouldn't be as big as it is if people weren't paying attention, which they
that's
are.
a problem. People always don't pay attention.
Yeah, and that's the sad fact that, I'm sure like people like us, people who can think, people who know better, we do our best to avoid this kind of shit, but there's a good part of the population that just loves to look at a car wreck,
The reason why Michael Phelps is in this predicament is because they've managed to do this to marijuana. Now, people are going to mistake me for being some big pothead because every time the subject of marijuana comes up, I'm going on some kind of rant about, like, why are people doing this to marijuana? Yeah. I don't even like marijuana that much. I've told you before, I've smoked it. I will smoke it again. Yep. And look, and I don't care if your kids hear it. Right. I don't care who, because something. I'm not lighting up a cigarette around somebody's 5-year-old kid like some parents do. Right. I'm not sitting up there drinking in front of and making an example of that in front of my children, or anybody else's children. Not that I have any, I don't know. But if I did, I know what I would do. I would never smoke around my kids. Mm-hmm. But you got some people who are lighting up cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Taking their kids to school.
And those are the same people want to talk about marijuana is horrible.
Oh, dude, no. And we are definitely in the country of hypocrites.
It is a hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. Now, Michael Phelps is gonna survive this. He's gonna go off and make money. This is gonna be publicity for him. Right, if he just comes out and says,
who's he losing? Goddamn Kellogg's and McDonald's.
Frosted Flakes. Yeah, you know how much sugar's in fucking Frosted Flakes, and now we want to talk about marijuana.
And fucking McDonald's should be fucking considered a drug because God knows how many people are fucking blowing themselves up with that
McDonald's,
shit.
Fast food has been said. Now, I can't prove this. I don't have any studies, but if this is true, they say certain fast foods have addictive qualities to them.
Oh, yeah.
And they are making people...
Have you ever heard of the McRib, Corey?
That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
I'm up here.
Now I want one.
I'm up here when the McRib comes out. I'm up here looking like a fucking crackhead with crusty lips in the front of McDonald's waiting for that shit to go on, and we worried about marijuana. Fucking outlaw the McRib if you want to do something. I mean, but no, man, listen, you got people sitting up here want to talk about Michael Phelps being all evil and shit and all crazy and how he's irresponsible while they're smoking a cigarette in front of their kids. Right. Now, you got people who are obese from eating fucking McRibs and quarter pounders and Wendy's and shit and McNuggets, which is like, I don't even know what the fucking McNugget is.
It's from the ass of a chicken, Corey. Come on.
McNuggets,
everyone knows that.
You might as well go and get some Play-Doh and shake that shit like McNuggets and eat that because it's all pretty much, I don't know, nobody can tell you what McNuggets is.
No, you just fry that shit and it's good.
Look it up. I mean, it would actually show you how McNuggets are being molded and formed, and it's like, the fuck fuck is going on with that?
Yeah, you got me on that one, brother.
But you got people who are obese over that shit. You got people who are having diabetes over like eating bad shit. You got people who are dying from smoking. You got people who are affected by secondhand smoke.
Right.
And some people do this. They feed it to their kids. They do it in front of their kids. You got people drunk driving.
Yeah, which is becoming an even bigger epidemic these days.
These days, people are drinking like a motherfucker. They're depressed because the economy's so bad. And you want to get upset because someone lights up a joint? Weed does not have...
Yeah, and it's from a picture that God knows how long ago it was taken. I mean, shit.
Fucking weed...
Who cares?
Does not leave tar in your body like fucking cigarettes do, man.
No.
And now we want to go crazy. And there are people who are going to jail over this shit.
Right.
There are people who are paying fines for this shit. There are people losing careers over this shit.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, everybody, let me light another cigarette. You know, I'll take 12 packs. You know what I mean?
Shit. Well, hey, you know what? It makes you think, you know, with all these businesses closing down, why can't it be McDonald's or something like that? You know, because I tell you what, if they were fucking, if all of a sudden they felt the hammer of what's going down right now in this country, they wouldn't be complaining about this bullshit. You know, they'd be like, we'll take anyone to sponsor our products, please.
Oh, I mean,
for crying out loud, the guy's Aquaman. Let him hang out next to you.
Saying.
Let him hang out next to you, goddamn clown, and make a stupid commercial and sell a lot of hamburgers. All right, isn't that the point?
He's selling fucking crap shaped like a rib dipped in barbecue sauce, and you want to drop him because he smoked a joint.
Exactly.
This motherfucker is a superhero.
That's right. That's right.
This dude is slender, fast. Talking to fish, and you got some fat fuck smoking a cigarette, missing half his lung, talking about Michael Phelps is evil.
Listen up, you redheaded fucking clown. The guys who are fucking eating all your bullshit are the same fucking guys that are smoking it up right now. So smoke up, kids, and go get yourself a fucking Happy Meal, all right? And show that fucking clown. When you go roll up to that window, you say, hey, motherfucker, I'm smoking. Give me some burgers, McRib, bitch. Chomp.
What the hell just happened with you?
I was smoking while you were going on your rant. I was smoking a doobie over here.
Because I was about to say, I forgot.
I had a smoke and some of that Sparks, and that shit don't go together.
I was like, man, what the? I lost whose side you on just then. I was like,
I'm gonna go take a nap, Corey. I'm gonna go get me a McRib.
Man, I'm just saying, dude. I'm looking at all these people.
You know what? I think
people who are like some of the most unhealthy people. They want to pick on a guy who's like the perfect specimen.
And you know what? The people who should be listening to this aren't. You're hoping you change some minds.
And now they took and they took our drug away. You know, they're not making Sparks anymore.
What?
I heard that they weren't making Sparks anymore.
Okay, I might have to investigate this, my friend.
People, if you don't know what Sparks is, Sparks is
it's the devil's drink.
It's the devil's beverage. It is. I don't know who the genius is who thought of this. We've drank it before.
Right. Oh yeah. And,
the
that was
moments
an interesting
when you heard
show.
us being like at our craziest.
Yeah, we sound like a couple of crackheads on that show.
We were on Sparks right there.
I was scared. Yeah.
We drank it, and I'm not saying like I'm talking shit about it because
it's a great product.
I would partake in it. I'll partake in it again. But some genius came up with this idea of saying, you know what? You have alcohol, and then you have your energy drink.
Right.
Let's put them all together in one can. Let's pretty much let's bottle and sell Red Bull and vodka.
Let's combine the high with the lows and see
what
happens.
Do you get? You get people who are drinking that shit, and all of a sudden like, why am I fucked up?
The AC with the DC.
I thought I was drinking a Red Bull, and now I feel like I'm fucked up. I feel like I just walked out of the bar.
No, I feel like somebody threw an 8-ball in my goddamn Coca-Cola.
No, I feel like somebody threw an 8-ball at your head. So the rumor is, and I don't know for sure, it is said that because I guess Sparks was finally seen as some dangerous thing because people were driving after drinking Sparks and not knowing that they were drunk.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, that's obviously what it does. You know, it's almost as I would assume it's almost as bad. Well, just as bad as people who order those Red Bulls and vodkas. I mean, that shit. Yeah, you'll be fucked up, but you just won't know it. I mean, you won't. Your judgment will be fucked up because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories. So yeah. Wow. Well, hey, I better go load up.
Hey, stock up while you can.
Stock up and put it in the basement next to my jugs, next to the Corey's jugs of water and duct tape,
and my crate of Mac ribs.
Yeah,
ready for the apocalypse.
Exactly.
Oh no. Man, no. There's I was wondering at a point if they were going to do something about that because you were the one that told me to try this. You said,
yeah, and I got us like the amped up version. I got us like the 2.0 version of that.
And I was drinking this, and I was like, man, I didn't know what was going on, but I said, co-host, I feel weird. And you were like, yeah, because it's alcoholic. And I was like, are you shitting me? I was like, you had me drinking this shit. I was like, and I looked at it, and it was like, what was the percentage of alcohol in it? It was like nearly 10%. It was like 7% alcohol in there.
I probably so, yeah. I can't remember. I think it was like 8 or 9 or
I
something.
I'm
like
sitting
that,
up here drinking a goddamn Rockstar drink, and you sitting up here.
It's like, Corey, you ever got wit?
Yeah, no. You like
you
that
had
scene
PCP and
Dave
like
Chappelle.
That scene
in, no, that's
Training Day?
Training Day. It's like, because you were like, damn, Corey, I know you like to get wet.
I didn't know you.
Co-host, what did you do to me?
Corey, I didn't know you like Sparks.
Pito, Primo, PCP.
Exactly. My eyes turn red. Oh boy. Drink up, Corey.
And you were like, you weren't even drinking yours. You like, you just drank Sparks. I didn't, but you did. Co-host, why did you do this to me? Hey man, you made a decision. It was your decision.
Damn, I'm sorry, Corey. I'm a bad influence. I'm sorry. It happens.
Nah, man.
We were experimenting. That's right. We're like in college.
Hey, look, the thing is, what I'm not telling you is that I loved it.
Oh, thank God. Another believer.
I know,
right.
man.
Well, I got some for sale here, Corey. The first one's free. The next one's going to cost.
I know. I'm coming down in the basement looking at you. Come on, co-host. Yeah. I'll suck your dick. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have one.
I'll suck your bolt. Oh, my God.
But
anyway.
Speaking of electronic parts, before we started this, now, we got on, I don't know why people, but before the co-host and I started, we started talking about Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin, a master storyteller.
Teddy Ruxpin was that electronic toy, man. And we're talking about the introduction. It wasn't the introduction, but it was like one of the next evolutions of interactive toys.
Yeah.
You remember Teddy Ruxpin was the one that, he was that teddy bear?
Yeah.
Whose head would move around, his mouth would move, and while he was talking.
You put a goddamn tape in his chest like Soundwave.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not as cool as Soundwave, but he'll tell you a damn story.
I know. It was kind of weird because it was almost like you were operating on Teddy Ruxpin when you put the tape, like you were shanking him or something.
It was one of those toys where, if you're a kid, if you were a guy kid, it usually wasn't targeted towards guys who played with G.I. Joes or He-Mans. But once you started seeing that thing move around and talk, you're like, I shouldn't like this, but it's kind of cool.
That's what I was thinking, man. I was thinking, call me a wuss or something.
Yeah.
I was a little bit too old for Teddy Ruxpin when it came out. I said, it's kind of cool.
Right.
But I said, okay, this is obviously, it's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
It's either meant for girls or toddlers.
Right.
And I'm thinking, if I'm 5 years old and that motherfucker's head turn around and says, hi, I'm like, shit, you better get that shit out of my room. Shit, I was
Start stabbing that thing.
I was one of those kids who was nervous about that haunted doll, the possessed ventriloquist dummy type thing. So somebody was telling me that they had a Teddy Ruxpin when they were a kid. And they were saying,
is this a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh, okay.
This girl had a Teddy Ruxpin. And she was saying that she used to turn her Teddy Ruxpin around because I never had one, but I think it was motion censored sometimes. Yeah. So when you walked in the room, Teddy Ruxpin might be looking at you. You walk in, you might walk in naked, and Teddy Ruxpin like, hey, you're like, hey, motherfucker, don't look at me. But it was just something creepy about it. Look, if that head, it's an inanimate object, right? At its most basic.
And you hope, you're hoping. When you're a kid, you're hoping,
and you forget
you still have that imagination to where you think, this thing could possibly come to life and kill my ass. Yeah. But you expect it's in the back of your head. It always is in the back of your head. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, because Teddy Ruxpin would talk, and he would say nice things like, hi, I'm Teddy Ruxpin.
Want to hear a story?
Let's be friends. Let's read a storybook together.
Let's have adventures together.
Let's kill you. You wait for that moment when he does that, eyes turn red, and you're like, fuck.
So this chick would get scared because she basically had to turn around. But everyone knows, especially us robots, that Teddy Ruxpin is one hell of a goddamn pervert. I can't blame the guy, especially if a chick, that girl's got to be walking around her room in panties. Or,
the girl was a little girl when she had it.
Come on, Wonder Woman underoos.
Oh, man,
even
come
for
on.
That robot was like, what, 3 years old? Come on, that's all right. That's legal.
No, man, no.
Teddy Ruxpin turned around. Ooh. you.
See, I would be scared to turn Teddy Ruxpin around. I would just let it. I just have to deal with it because I would be scared that if you turn Teddy Ruxpin all the way around, like it's gonna be an Exorcist thing where Teddy Ruxpin's head turns around a little further than it should go.
Then you're gonna look right up at his face for a closer inspection. He's gonna puke goddamn pea soup. Blah!
Welcome,
welcome to my nightmare.
You little kid. Mom, get this motherfucker out!
Your mother ain't gonna believe you, stupid.
No one's gonna believe you.
Yeah. I like your underoos.
I wouldn't even be that way. Teddy Ruxpin would be like, my friend would walk in. She's a little kid. And Teddy Ruxpin would be like, hey, baby, I like them underoos you got on. No, I'm just a kid. Well, tell your mom. Who's she going to believe?
Yeah.
She going to believe. She going to think I talk. Yeah, I made sexual innuendos. So, bitch, get out of here. Ain't nobody gonna believe this shit.
Damn. I tell you what though, I do remember guys like throwing in their goddamn like Fat Boys tapes. And Fat Boys Run DMC, yes. And have fucking Teddy Ruxpin.
Man, Teddy Ruxpin, you know that.
Fat Boys.
You know what? That's the part. When he gets that beatboxing and shit. Can you imagine that mouth trying to keep up that motherfucker? Teddy Ruxpin would just start smoking, man. trying to beatbox.
You grab Teddy Ruxpin and like start spinning him around.
But see,
he's doing the robot. He's breakdancing. Look at him.
He's doing but see, that's the thing, man. We talk about how Teddy Ruxpin was meant for toddlers, but they had it to where, like on the commercials, like Teddy Ruxpin would do karaoke. You know, people were taking like Teddy Ruxpin and putting it on their windowsills when kids were going by. You know, you had some stoner like, "Hey, motherfucker, where you going?" Hey, bitch. Hey, bitch, what's up? Coming from school.
Yeah, where's your fucking milk money?
Give me your bitch. What's in the bag, bitch?
I know where you live. I can smell your lunch.
Give it to me. Don't make me show up at your house tonight and take it. And then they would have Teddy Ruxpin sitting in the room like they would be fucking with each other like the stoners like, hey man, pass that doobie. And they put the doobie in Teddy Ruxpin's mouth. Teddy Ruxpin's eyes would get all halfway open and shit.
I'm all fucked up, bitch.
That's what Michael Phelps was doing. Exactly. Michael Phelps was just hanging out with Teddy Ruxpin, man. He's hanging out with a toy.
Getting insane in the membrane.
Yeah, hanging out with a toy, just having a good time. And he gets
so
busted.
So high. I want to get high. So high.
Now, you know it'd be funny. If they somebody took a picture of Teddy Ruxpin and Teddy Ruxpin came on the news like, this toy is bad for kids.
How dare this this toy from the 80s that was loved and cared for, and kids around the world love Teddy Ruxpin. Now we find out he's a goddamn junkie.
He's a pothead. Well, you know Teddy Ruxpin's a has-been now. Shit, nobody cares.
Give two shits about
Teddy
that.
Ruxpin's on Skid Row doing heroin right now.
See where are they now? Teddy Ruxpin's out there with his dog wearing a sign. He's like, hey, I'm hungry. And so is my dog. Oh man! Tell stories for $1.
Now remind me to tell you. Look, well, I'm gonna do it now.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you about this homeless chick or something. But before we get into that, we're talking about the interactive toys now. Right. I don't know if kids, you're not gonna remember this, but maybe some of you older Spill members will. Now going back before Teddy Ruxpin, man, I'm gonna take you back.
Back in black.
I'm gonna take you back to there was a robot interactive toy.
We're gonna go back in time.
There was a robot interactive toy.
Yeah,
and this was back in the day.
Oh, some of my ancestors, eh?
Exactly. We're gonna go back to your ancestors
where
it
all began.
To your roots, co-host.
Oh no.
We're gonna show you your forefathers.
No,
all right?
There were slaves, Corey. There were slaves.
Now I was talking to some people about this because I said, yeah, man, before Teddy Ruxpin, there was this robot toy. And they said, oh, Nintendo. And
I was about to say, I was like, it is a Nintendo. It's like the robot. Remember the robot? If it came with the Nintendo, and it would play games with you. And it was like for kids who didn't have any friends, and you get that for your kid, and like he just play with you, and then you know it's bad when that robot all of a sudden just disappeared, and they stopped selling that robot. That robot was like, fuck this kid, I ain't hanging out with him. Put a bone around this motherfucker.
Yeah, that robot is like, man, I see why you don't have no friends.
This guy, you suck, dude. You suck at these games.
You go over to your friend's house and you see your robot from Nintendo playing with your friends.
Yeah, here, take this interactive gun and shoot yourself. I can't stand this shit no more.
But no, man, a lot of people thought I was talking about that. But I'm going back before that.
Woo!
I'm going way back.
Back to the days of old, many moons ago.
Many moons ago, eons.
Damn.
No, a lot now. Somebody thought I was talking about. They said it was a blue robot, and I was like, no, that's Alfie. That was meant for younger kids, but that was after this. I'm going back.
Oh,
Take
Jesus,
it back, man.
Dude, I'm scared.
Man, we talking about you in the Neanderthal stage. I'm going back to the monkey.
I was a bone.
You a little microchip. Yeah, you were minerals back then. So now there was something called it was like the XL. So that's a camera. Oh fuck! What was it called?
XTC.
The X.
That's
no,
strip club.
Oh, no, 2XL.
2XL.
Yes.
Damn, that's Cyrus's size, right? That's I think, right? That's no robot.
A lot of Spill members wear that.
Guy's been hanging out at McDonald's. He needs to stop smoking.
Yeah, no, 2XL. Now it was like. It was a plastic robot. It was not even a robot. It was a tape player, man.
It looked like melted plastic.
It was molded plastic with 2 red lights for eyes. And man, now I'm saying tapes, but that shit, man, that shit was so old.
It had 45. It
was a jukebox. I'm sitting next to a jukebox thinking it's a robot. Hey, robot, get that kid out of here. No, it was. Man, it played 8 tracks.
What? Oh my God! The only 8-track I've ever seen or even heard of was the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke 8-track.
Yeah, no,
it was Cheech and Chong still smoking. I think.
Yeah, no, 8 tracks. We talking about kids. You ain't never heard anything on 8-track before. We talking about.
Oh my God!
Like Kool in the Gang.
That's right.
And Commodores.
And my mistake.
Blue Oyster Cult.
It was Cheech and Chong's greatest hits.
Damn,
that's what it was on 8-track. Yeah, it was on 8-track, dude.
Yeah, like so like 2XL could play Grand Funk Railroad for you and shit like that. You know?
That is awesome. No, I think I prefer listening to the.
Let me see if I can look it up, man. See, because I want to show you.
I want to see what it looks like.
I want to show you your ancestors.
Yes, my people.
Let me see if I can find it, man.
God damn.
Okay.
People playing 8-tracks.
Look at this shit, man. It's a box. It's pretty much
it's a big box.
It's got molded, like it has molded arms on there.
They didn't even try.
Molded knobs, like none of that shit moves.
And it's brown, a very popular color of the 70s.
It's not even
like a brown and beige.
It's like beige. It's not even gold. Like C-3PO was gold. You know, this don't look like metal. It's tan. Yeah. It's tan and white. It's like if Banana Republic sold robots, they would sell this shit. It's a tan and white robot. So
it looks like beige and creamy.
And so when you put these 8 tracks in, I mean, okay, when I think I got one used, man. I think one Christmas my mom found one of these for $3 and like
at the yard sale.
We're gonna grab this and he'll be happy with it. And I took this shit to school because what it is, you put it, I mean, cause I thought
you took it to school.
Well, listen, man, when you got this as a kid, I was like, shit, this is like
the future.
This is like C-3PO. This is like my very R2D2.
This is my Twiggy. I'm like Buck Rogers.
Twiggy. Yeah. I'm like Luke Skywalker. I got my own R2D2. This is amazing. I got a robot friend.
This is the future.
So even when I was a little boy, I was a little black boy with a robot.
Oh, Corey, there goes Corey with no sense.
Now you know where my robot fetish comes from.
Oh my God! What? Oh God, we go. But you're scaring me, Corey.
But man, so what you did was you put in these 8-track tapes, and so they come out with these fake bleeps and bloop. Hello, I am the 2XL robot friend.
Oh, and he's
gay. It would ask you, it would say, now before we start, are you a boy or a girl? And you would press a button, you know. But
Corey accidentally clicks girl.
You know, okay, sissy.
That was the first time a human ever got to program something.
But all it was doing, it was just like if you put in the Commodores and fast forward to the next song, that's all this was doing. It was just going to another part of the 8-track, yeah. And so it would go there, and I'd press board. It still say, nope, you look like a girl.
Hey, sweetie.
No, wait a minute. No.
Hey, Corey. Hey, sweetie.
Baby.
Are you ready to play another game?
Yeah, looks at me. Shut the door. Okay. Pull down your pants.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, hey-o.
What the fuck?
Hey, whoa.
Now just sit down for me and open your, you know.
So what I think me and the rest of the audience wants to know, how was your experience taking this goddamn thing to school,
Well,
Corey?
man, okay, see, here's the deal. Now, I would play with this because it was sort of like an educational toy.
Right.
So you put these 8 tracks in, and it would ask you sign in, and it would ask you like questions. It would say, who won the World Championship Series back in 1970? And I'm like, I'm a fucking kid. I don't know this
fuck
shit.
if I know.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're supposed to, aren't you the robot?
You press a button. No, stupid. Take off another article of clothing. No, you don't. But
Pervert by
no.
100.
Meanwhile, this is all going on in my head. I'm just undressing for this robot by myself.
If you say so.
I don't have a girlfriend. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. It's like, it plays games because they had a commercial for it, and it would be like, the world's first robot pal. And
I know. You know what? That's the thing that sucks. I always hated
because I looked online and saw the commercial.
Well, you see those commercials, and it makes it look like the coolest thing. That was the problem with that goddamn robot that came with the Nintendo. I don't know if you remember that commercial, but the kid is playing a video game by himself, and I swear to God, it looks like it's about 2 a.m. All the lights are shut off. All you see is the TV screen with this kid like just getting like way too into the game, along with the robot, and it's thundering and lightning outside. Like all hell's breaking loose. Like you can play with your robot pal.
You and your robot pal can take over the world.
Exactly.
Well, I thought I was taking over the world with this shit. I was like, oh man, this robot it's educational. It plays games.
Mom, I'm learning something. Shut up, Corey.
Shut up. I bought that for you. Leave me the
shit
fuck
for
alone.
$3. Just a piece of plastic. Now go over there and don't bother mother.
Shit, leave me alone.
I'm watching my stories, bitch.
Yeah. But man, I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm taking this shit to school.
I'm gonna show everybody.
I take it to school and all these kids it's show and tell. So I get up and put it in front of the class and people are like, what the fuck is that?
Is that your girlfriend, Corey?
What kind of science project is this? Loser. So I'm playing and it does this whole thing and I'm waiting for kids I'm like, hi, I'm Too. I look back and kids are just like, so?
Goddamn retard up here.
Wait a minute, look.
Wait.
Are you a boy or a girl? And look, some kids, girl. No, wait a minute, seriously. It's like, pick up my shit and just walk off. You know?
Oh my God! And then a kid bring up an AT-AT from Star Wars and go, oh hell yeah!
Yeah, some kid brings up a Rubik's cube and I'm like, yeah.
Some kid goes, hey, I used to have that robot. I peed on it all the time. I sold it to your mom for $3.
That smells like my robot. Yeah. Some kid gets up there and starts playing music with his armpits.
Kids are clapping. Genius. That was Jim Carrey.
This fuckhead up in this goddamn robot.
God. Damn, Corey. I'm sorry, dude. That explains a lot.
Shit was old by the time I took it up there. Kid like, I had that 2 years ago. But man, they told you if you look at the commercial for this shit, that the 2XL will like vacuum your house. That shit will cook you dinner if you go by this commercial. I mean, 2XL
it'll fly your ass to Alaska.
They actually had reviews because I looked up the commercial because when I was in New York, I was hanging out with Joel and we looked it up. And that's how we got in this discussion and everything. And we watched some of these commercials and they have reviews. 2XL is the greatest invention to come out since the vacuum cleaner. I don't know, something like that. I mean, it's like
since Connect 4.
Yeah.
And your dumbass bought into it. Wowee!
Yeah, wow, man.
Mom, give me that. Shut up.
The only thing that'll be next after the 2XL is the flying car.
Look, you getting a McRib, bitch, and shut up.
The 2XL is the greatest thing since the McRib.
There you go.
But so let me play this commercial for you.
Play it.
Let me stop this real quick. All right, you hear us across the room, but let me go ahead and play this shit right here. Let's see. It's
Corey's stereophonic speaker system.
Stereophonic sound.
40 leading publications love 2XL. He asks the questions, you push buttons to answer.
Giraffes are the only animals that make no sound. True or false?
A uniquely educational toy.
Correct. The next time you hear nothing, a giraffe might be coming.
Yeah.
Track cartridges. Teenagers love him. Adults can't resist him.
4, 6, 8. This is the way we lose weight.
2XL, now
Fat boy.
for all age groups by Migo.
Yeah, they had all these reviews in there, like what it said. Adults can't resist them. That was a quote from Playboy. It's like I was like Hugh Hefner was like, "I'll take 2XL over my bitches any day." You know? I mean, and then in the part where it says 2, 4, 6, 8. This is the way we lose weight. They have this woman, like a grown ass woman that exercises
right
to 2XL.
Right in front of a goddamn toy. You think, man, is she retarded or something? What is going on here?
Yeah, I'm sure you don't get many dates, do you?
No.
You know, the moment you brought a guy home and he sees this shit on the table, if you're fine, he ain't gonna say shit.
If I were a husband, I would have divorced her. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, that bitch ain't right. I gotta go.
You gotta get this shit on out of here.
See, but I thought it makes it sound real cool, like the kids interacting with the toy, like that robot is asking questions. I mean, it'd be kick ass if like you can program that robot, like it goes, "What is 2 + 2?" They get 5. No, you dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, if you
what the hell's wrong with you, fat boy? Your fat has once again clouded your mind. Why don't you go to school? What the hell are you doing talking to me? I'm a robot, you dummy. Get out of here.
Yeah, if you can program it to, like when your kids are gone, you come in and you program it to say certain things, and then the kids come in and it's like, "No, stupid, that's not the answer."
Yeah, keep working out, fatso.
You dumbass. Yeah. That is not the right animal.
Yeah.
The only dumb animal in here is you.
You should go join the circus because you're so fat.
Your parents don't love you. We're shipping you to military school.
Yeah. No, where's the drugs?
And if you come near my dad, bro.
We need to stop.
Okay. Your dad says stay away from the closet where the porn is. Yeah. But no, man.
Your mother's fucking the mailman.
You're telling me to stop? Yeah. Your parents are divorcing.
I see everything. I am all-knowing, fat boy.
But they made it sound like push button learning, like pushing buttons. They never made pushing buttons sound so exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny.
Well, you couldn't really do much with toys back then except push
a button. Yeah. And those kids, you could tell, it must have been boring back then because those kids pushed that button and they were like, boot. They were like SpongeBob.
I know, those kids look like they're having the greatest time.
What is your answer?
Oh, shit. All right.
Anyway, enough
of that craziness.
Oh, man.
All right.
Valentine's Day is coming.
Oh, shit.
My mother's going to be spending some time. Man, she's going to be alone. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to go.
You going to go hang out with your mom?
I'm going to go hang out with my mom. Good for you. And I feel so weird about that.
I'll be hanging out with your mom, too, Corey.
I will be hanging out with your mom. I should get one of those for my mom. Yeah. Like, I can't be there for Valentine's Day, but no, man, this is like really the first year that my mom is really going to be alone. And so, I feel really.
You're making me depressed, Corey. You're bringing me down.
Bringing the show down.
You are bringing me down.
So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go and take my mom out to dinner, and I mean, just be cool.
Good
man.
for you.
You know, I'm trying to.
You should be cool. She only gave birth to your ass.
I never asked to be
jackass. Yeah. How do you repair? You do a stupid ass show on the internet.
You'd hang out with a robot. Yeah. So I'm talking about that robot. Look at you.
It's addictive. I'm sorry.
I know you can't. Once you start, you can't stop.
I can't.
Hey, Mom, I heard you're lonely this Valentine's Day. No, who is this? It's your son, Corey. No son of mine.
What the fuck?
No, Mom. I hate when people say that. Your mom gave you birth. I had a teacher. What was his name? He went out with my mom when they were in high school.
What?
Yeah, and
like on a date?
Well, they went to high school together, so I think they used to go out. And what was his name? Mr. Zachary. Mr. Zachary used to go out with my mom, and I had him when I was in high school. I had him for a class, and he used to say things like he used to say the same thing. People used to say he used to curse in class and all kinds of. I don't know how he got along.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because he used to say that. He used to say. People always talk about, you need to thank your mother because you were born. Shit, I didn't ask to be born. Mama, you did that for your pleasure.
This guy sounds like your brother.
Yeah, he was old.
Is he one of those guys he's trying to figure out? I can see him trying to figure out a math problem. He fucks it all up. He's like, you're in behind the chalkboard. Go, well, 4 + 4 divided by the fuck.
God damn it.
God damn it.
No, he took me out in the hall one time. He would always take kids out in the hall. You knew he was cussing kids out, but he took me out in the hall one time. He's like, you get your motherfucking ass back in there and shut the fuck up. You understand? I ain't fucking with you no more. You hear me? You get your ass in there and shut the fuck up. And then you come back in and the girls would be like, Mr. Zachary, what'd you say to him? He's like, I didn't do anything but preach John 16. You'd be like,
Oh
no.
no, is he a preacher? What?
No, he wasn't a preacher.
Okay.
He was a football coach. He was a cool guy though.
Yeah.
He was, but one thing he didn't like to be called was Cool Breeze.
Oh.
Now, from what I understand,
Yeah.
and somehow every kid knew this. I had kids who were years ahead of me saying, Mrs. Zachary get mad about Cool Breeze. So every kid knew going in there that he liked to be called Cool Breeze.
Yeah.
He was in the army or something and almost got frostbite and lost fingers or something like that. It's a story I heard. You know how these legends start. You know, it probably ain't nothing. He probably was an ice cream salesman. Doesn't like it. He drove an ice cream truck. Cool Breeze, what's up? He hated selling that shit. But you would always get one kid who would say something like, Mr. Zachary, could you close that door? I think I feel a cool breeze coming in. And then he'd look at me like, get out.
Get out, you motherfucker.
But yeah, man, Mr. Zachary, boy, he was a cool dude. But yeah, he used to go out with my
But he
mom.
was hanging out with your mom, huh?
And so, yeah, my mom is first time really not having anybody for Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna go and spend some time with her. It makes me feel weird because I used to make fun of this dude, man. This guy named David.
Uh-huh.
I used to work with David
Uh-huh.
at my first animation job.
Yeah.
Now, forgive me, people, if you've heard this before. I'm not gonna tell the whole story. But as I said, David and I, we were the fuck ups in the studio. I mean, no doubt we would because they would put us together to go
The
do
Heckle and Jekyll.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they liked me
Animation
because I
world.
think I was too much of a smart ass and probably not talented enough to back up all the shit I was talking.
Right.
And David was just a fuck up.
Yeah.
David was, and the reason why David
I like him already.
Yeah, no, David, man, David was straight up comedy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, David was on point with just the nerdiest things you could say. David
He had his HBO special on every day.
Man, every day was comedy, man.
Comedy
with David,
hour.
David would because David would come up and say things to people, and not know what he was saying was bad, was
wrong.
creepy.
Creepy. Okay, there's a difference.
He would come up and ask people things. He would say, "What are you going to get your wife for Valentine's Day?" And people would be like, David, well, I'm going to take her out to dinner and I'm going to buy her some flowers. Why? Oh, I just want to know why she get my mom. And people like, you want to take your mom out for Valentine's Day? He's like, that's my mom. That's why people be like expecting some big answer like, it's my mom. And people look at him.
Yeah.
Like
he thought like, what was wrong with you for asking that?
Yeah, because the thing you want to ask is nobody.
Is that what you
you
do?
just met him, and the thing that comes in your mind next to say to him is like, well, "Are you fucking your mom?" I mean,
Oh no!
I mean, why do you want to take your mom out? And
because she's my mom, dude.
And he was straight up nerd, man. I mean, he was a stereotypical nerd. He wore. Now check this out.
Uh-oh.
He wore a members only jacket.
Yes.
With the Star Trek emblem. Now when you press the emblem, he pinned it on, and when you pressed it, it would do.
Oh no! Are you serious?
All right, it makes something like
yeah, no, you
that
got it
teleport
right. Yeah, you got it right.
And so, woo, woo, Captain. You know, it's always followed by Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock. You'd always hear that, Captain. That's the only thing they do was Captain. But he would do that. He would come to people's desk and he'd look at him and he thought it was funny. He thought he was being cute. It was just kind of creepy. He'd grin at him and be like, and just walk away. People be like, David, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And he would come up and ask people things like, how did you meet your wife? And they're like,
no.
what? And he's like, I just want to know, how do you meet girls?
Oh no!
He'd be like, well, David, first of all, you take that members only jacket off with that Star Wars emblem, and he'd be like, now here's the funny part. He made this sound like this was some antique hand me down because he said, this is my grandfather's jacket.
Oh no!
He's like, oh, why should I be ashamed of wearing this? And you tell him things, he get defensive.
Yeah.
He would do this thing of saying like, how do I meet girls? And you tell him, well, David, first of all, you take those glasses off because he had these. Everything he could do to sabotage himself from looking remotely attractive, he did. You say, David, get some contacts, take those thick ass glasses off, wash your hair, get it styled, lose a little weight maybe, and your wardrobe has got to go. You got a members only jacket on with a Star Wars emblem, and your shoes. Seriously, his shoes were so worn out that the toes were showing.
A guy like that, you might as well tell his ass to grow some wings and fly to the moon. What the hell? He ain't changing, Corey. He ain't changing for nobody.
He ain't getting nothing.
It's a grown-ass man you're talking to with a members-only jacket and a goddamn Star Trek. What is it, fucking intercom?
Yeah, it was
my
like little
God.
intercom. And
Yeah. When you meet a guy like that, there's no turning back.
Yeah,
he is devoted to the cause of nerdom.
I think I'll talk about David now because David's grown up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
David has actually made a name for himself on the internet
Oh.
by drawing Misty the Mouse.
Oh, okay. I
Misty-
don't know who that is, but damn.
Misty the Mouse. This is what really used to freak people out about David.
Uh-oh.
David would draw Misty, right? And he would always he had a thing for breast. He loved big-breasted, chubby women.
Uh-huh.
And he was in conflict because he was super religious.
Uh-huh.
So his sexual urges would come out in really weird ways. So he would always draw this character Misty, but he would always draw in a bikini, almost about to bust out of the top, just barely busting out,
Oh, no.
like his nuts were about to do in his pants. But when he would draw these, he would go and show people like, "What do you think about my character?" And people look at this and it got. Oh, here's the deal.
You know what?
You know,
I've heard the legend of this
David,
guy.
you
Yeah.
You know.
I do. Oh, no.
David, boy, you know me. When
I almost
you might not know
forgot.
Dave, but when you hear Misty,
Yeah. Okay.
now Misty was I admit Misty was a fine ass mouse. I mean, even I looked at that mouse and got a hard on every now and then.
Now,
But-
was this guy into furries?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That you know what? It's funny because a friend of ours, I heard about this guy through him, and that's the first. When he was telling me about him, he was like, "This guy, he's kind of like into these things called furries." And I was like, "Furries? What the hell is that?" And basically, well, for the kids out there, furries are they're like cartoon animals. Mm-hmm. Like almost like Warner Brother type. Like I always think about what was the where they had Donald Duck, but he was green. What the hell was that animated show called?
Duck Dodgers.
No, not Duck Dodgers. Remember the time of Animaniacs?
You thinking about Tiny Toons?
Tiny Toons, yeah. Whenever I saw pictures of those, because he was like, "This is what furries are." They look like grown-up cartoon characters, but with like the chicks had like huge breasts.
Well, furries.
Yeah.
Okay, to get it right. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously,
I don't really know
because I used to think it was only one aspect of it. Furries can people have who are classified in furries or as furries. Furries can encompass anything from people who love the
images,
the talking cartoon
right.
image. I mean, or the talking cartoon character. It could be very innocent, like you say, like
Right.
Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. They like they like the talking animal genre of cartoon.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Then it can go anywhere from that to people who like to draw serious stories but use anthropomorphic animal characters. And that could be anywhere from the wacky looking cartoon characters that like Looney Tunes and Disney and all that to people who actually draw characters who look like human beings except with animal heads.
Right.
Like they have human bodies.
Yeah. I always think of Tiny Toons because when he showed me those pictures, you almost saw like the same color schemes as those Tiny Toon characters, except they were like grown versions. Yeah. Like a green duck. With big breasts.
They were the kid versions of Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But it gets crazier than that.
Yeah.
Now, you got those people who... Now, from there on, it's innocent.
Yeah.
Because I actually used to do cartooning with some people who would write, like, soap opera type stories, and all the characters would be human beings pretty much with animal heads.
Yeah.
But then it gets crazier than that, man.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it crosses over into pervertedness.
Uh-huh.
It can go as far as people who love to draw perverted things.
Right.
You get these people on the internet who love for people to draw Disney characters and Simpsons. And
right.
It could be anywhere from kids' TV cartoon show characters to adult cartoon show characters having sex.
Okay. Well, all right. But that's considered furries?
That's considered to be a part of the furry staple too.
Okay.
So if let's say I was some perverted
I thought
guy,
that was just some
I might
sick
find
shit.
somebody. I might find somebody who's actually online. I might say, hey, look, I really get off on Jasmine from Aladdin having sex with a tiger, and I want you to draw that for me.
Yeah,
or I might say
cartoon bestiality.
Okay, well, okay. When I said, and Yeah, but obviously it doesn't. I mean, you get people who like want to see The Simpsons having sex with each other and stuff like that.
Right.
That's kind of a fallout from the furry stuff because you get a lot of people who love seeing animals have sex with each other. Yeah,
right.
It just evolved into or went on into something else like that. But there was even I worked with a girl named Cindy who even showed me because she would draw this stuff for people. I'm not lying to you. I think you know my friend Cindy.
No, I know her.
Okay, she used to draw. Stuff like that for people sometimes.
Really?
And she showed me when I was working with
people would ask for that.
People would, they would ask. They would ask,
and they were fine asking. And she's a chick. I mean, they'd say, hey, Cindy, you mind drawing me?
They would pay her.
Yeah.
if what I understand now,
Donald Duck screwing Daffy Duck,
something like that. Now I might really. I don't want to say that. I'm
no.
Not sure.
I mean, yeah. We shouldn't even be bringing up names.
No, I didn't say her last name or anything. But I'm just saying. She used. I think she told me she used to draw this for people. She'd be like, "Hey, look, I'm not into it. I'm just drawing it for people because of the question they paid me for it." But she showed me one of her fans, and I said, "Cindy, I'm not comfortable with this. I am uncomfortable for you."
Right.
She showed me this guy, and she said it was real.
Yeah.
It was a guy who was in a wheelchair. This is a guy who obviously is. I feel bad because. He's not. He's going to have an extremely hard time finding a human being. As at least a female human being, and I'm not saying it's impossible.
Okay,
but I don't know. Somewhere in his mind, he got into it that I like horses better than people.
Okay,
and he had a pony that he said was his mate.
A real pony.
A real pony.
Okay, now I'm getting scared now.
It was a real pony. Now it gets worse.
Oh shit!
He sent her pictures. Now the pictures weren't graphic.
Right.
Kinda.
What?
There was he took a picture of this pony. People, you're going to think I'm lying to you. I swear on my mother, man. She showed me a picture of this pony wearing panties.
Oh, boy.
It was like panties. I don't know where it must have been for some obese woman, or maybe they
supersized.
Or maybe they were made specifically for this kind of thing. I'm not sure, but that horse was wearing panties with a hole for the tail to come out of.
Oh, fuck.
And he took a picture of it, and then he took another picture of him. Making out with the horse, kind of kissing it or tonguing it in a way or something, which I think would be dangerous because the horse can bite your lips off.
A horse would fucking crack your head open with a hoof.
Yeah, so that's as far as I'll go with that.
What? Okay,
I don't know.
So he basically gave her these pictures to draw them or something.
I think he was a big fan of hers, and he says, "Here's my wife," or "Here's my girlfriend."
So draw her.
No, not draw. It was just
he just showed it.
Yeah, I wanted to send you pictures of my companion, my wife, my girlfriend, whatever.
That whole animated world is so corrupted and sick, Corey.
Okay, so going back to David. Now, David.
Yeah.
David
just drew. That was his character, right? That was
it was his character. Now, David kind of sometimes crossed over to the perverted side. Now, he didn't. Now, David wasn't into animal sex or anything like that.
Right.
I think David was just so horny that this is the only way, and so confused about how to go about sex because he was afraid Jesus was going to show up and slap the shit out of him. So he would draw this mouse. Now, he would always, like I said, he'd always show you this mouse in sexy clothing. But every now and then he could not help himself. He would have to show you his dirty pictures.
Oh,
and he would do it in this weird way where he'd act like he was drawing. Like I remember him and I, like I was driving one day because I think we were going somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, it was the Dave and Corey show all the time, me and Dave. And so Dave was sitting up there with his fold open. He was acting like he was drawing. Right. I knew he really wasn't drawing because we're driving. Anybody tries to draw in a car who can draw knows it's hard to do in a car.
Obviously.
So I look over and he sees me looking. And he shuts his fold like,
oh.
I'm like, David, open. Give it to me, man. I said,
you probably regret that. That request for the rest of your life. No.
And I kind of looked at it, and I was like, and I'm driving, so I pull into like a 7-Eleven parking lot or something.
You pull over to look at this shit?
Let me show you because the reason why I looked at this, and I was like, holy shit, because he didn't want to show me at first. I said, David, I said, show me that. And David was like, oh, no, it's nothing. And I'm like, yeah. David, you wanted me to see that. Quit bullshitting with me. I'm not going to baby like you like these other people. Right. All right? You and I are together all the time. I know you.
Right.
Give me the fucking picture. So
Jesus.
He gives me the picture. And I look at it, I'm like, skirt. I pull over. I'm going to look at this shit. I say, wait, hold on. We had to pull over anyway. I was like, man, I said, put that up till we get over here. And I look, I said, all right, pull it out again. I look at it, and it's his character Misty having the nastiest sex. with this squirrel character or something like that.
Oh no!
This male squirrel character.
Squirrel on squirrel sex.
There was mouse on squirrel sex.
No.
It was interspecies relationships. And I tell David, I say, David, man,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was like, David, I was like, dude, man, you act like you every time we talk about sex and all this kind of stuff when we talking about this mouse, you like, well, she's wearing clothes. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't do that. And I was like, and now you show me this nasty shit right here. I was like, man, don't you these little eyes?
Can't you draw something cool like Spider-Man shooting his webs? No, not like that. You sick son of a bitch. What is wrong with you?
Now here's the punchline.
Oh, God.
No, wait, stop drawing.
No.
No,
Those webs aren't supposed to come from there.
No, here's the kicker, man. Here's the punchline to the whole thing.
The Kappa.
Yeah, I look at it and I was like, man, this is crazy, Dave. And he looks at it and he's like, oh, wait a minute, you're right. And he takes it and he draws a little something on there. I was like, what'd you just do? He's like, oh, I drew a wedding ring on them. See, they were having premarital sex, but it's okay now. I was like, what?
Are you serious? He did that? He drew a goddamn wedding ring on a goddamn squirrel?
Yes, on a picture of a squirrel.
Having sex.
Yeah.
Having anal antics.
Man, it was nastier than that.
What?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it because I don't need.
No,
I mean, I'll tell you when it's done.
Yeah,
but it was, man, oh man.
What
people,
did you actually stop and just think like I hang out with this guy?
We had a talk. I just said, Dave. I said, man, I don't know if anybody's ever talked to you about this.
Which no.
But which means
no.
Yeah. But I said, look, man, I know what's going on. I was like, you're worried about sex. I mean, you got it on your mind all the time. You're a virgin. You don't know how to express yourself. I mean, you're probably scared to go home and masturbate.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's coming out in your pictures here, and no pun intended there.
Yeah.
So I said, it's okay, man. I like it. I said you need to learn how to embrace your sexuality instead of like having to come out and weird shit like this right here. You know,
the first thing I would have told that guy is like, all right, wherever we're going, we're not going there anymore. We're going to your fucking parents' house right now. All right, where do they live? Drive his ass to his parents' house, kick down that door with his goddamn little pamphlet, his tablet of sick creations, and I would throw that in the face of his parents and go, look what you've done! Look what you've done!
You fucked this boy up!
No, fuck no!
I know, tell his dad, you're a nice guy.
Yeah,
you're a nice guy. But that doesn't cut it when your kid is drawing fucking mice and squirrels having fucking nasty sex.
No! Look what your God has done! he's drawing squirrels.
There's
fucking
your
each
God.
other, and on top of that, he throws a goddamn ring on the finger. What the hell? What kind of crazy? I'm in a madhouse.
A madhouse. Man, boy.
What don't you fucking understand? Holy shit.
Man,
Woo,
my
what a
God,
story, Corey. I don't know how we got from talking robots to squirrel sex.
Put on a squirrel costume. Bring in your sister and have her dress like a mouse.
You're missing something, David, from your drawing. You are missing the wedding ring. Come on. Squirrels don't do that without being married. Something else I have to teach your fat ass.
When you draw animals having sex like this, God hates you.
Yeah.
You are destined for hell.
Yeah, time for exercise, fat boy.
The only way to save yourself is to touch yourself.
Take off that goddamn members-only check.
and take off that stupid-ass jacket.
What don't you fucking understand?
You might as well chop your dick off.
All right, enough of that. Woo!
Yes or no?
That is some crazy shit.
Man,
oh my God. I remember that guy.
Yeah,
Damn.
dude. So you know.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hey, man, straight up. You know I'm not lying.
No. Because thanks to that guy, I realized what the hell furries, what that term, what that term means and what it was at the time. And I was just like, wow, that is some crazy shit.
No, man.
People get aroused by this, eh?
No, man. I mean, a lot of people listen to this and they say, "Hey, you guys are just making up a lot of shit just to make a creative story." No, hey,
it's
look,
out there. Yeah,
people. We've all seen some crazy.
I mean,
shit.
if you're on this side, God knows you may have run into that shit at some point.
You probably are this person.
You probably are drawing those
God
goddamn
bless
pictures.
you. You know,
hey, you go.
Let me tell you something.
Times are tough.
Dave, he channeled that. I think he's an internet celebrity.
Oh,
I think
shit.
Mr. the Mouse has become popular with a lot of furries.
Oh, wow.
Online.
Well, I hope we don't get sued by telling this story.
I said no last names, but I did say the characters. I mean, you can put two together and know. But, I mean, look, Dave is a good guy. Him and I, okay, people going like, you became close with that guy, but David, Really? He was genuine.
Yeah. No, I remember you actually talking about him, and you were trying to help him, Corey. That's exactly.
Well, man,
you were trying to help him through the ins and outs of life.
I was trying to get man, and he got kind of there. I mean, he just needed somebody to just say, Dave, this is fucked up, or Dave, you got to do this. Dave, he just needs somebody to talk harsh to him because people walk around and be like, "Oh, Dave."
They laugh at him.
Yeah. They say nice things to his face and be like, Dave, I'll talk to you later, and then they laugh. That dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
And it's just kind of like I said, Dave, man, look, I'm gonna, you and I got to hang. All right. If I'm gonna hang,
because nobody else around here wants to hang out with me. I bring my robot. And nobody wants to hang out.
It's like the Defiant Ones. When Sidney Poitier and Tony Curtis were together, were chained together. Him and I were the Defiant Ones. It was
right.
So I didn't have no choice but to be around him. I was like, hey, and I liked him.
It's either him or X2.
2XL.
2XL.
and so I showed Dave the ropes, man. I mean, as much as I could, I just said, Dave, hey, man, this is life. And you fucking up in it. and he came around.
Yeah, hey, good for him.
Yeah, no, Dave.
Now he's a celebrity in the internet
world.
world.
And look, and for what it's worth, you can talk about all the shit he was doing and say, yeah, it might have been weird or something, but I wish Dave. The only thing that would send Dave back was his personality. Yeah, because he was a great artist. I mean, he still is a great artist.
And that's usually how it works, man. I mean, a lot of times the greatest artists are usually.
I never told them
the craziest ones, but hey.
there are certain people who do art, and I look at their art and I admire it, and I even will study it a little bit to see what their technique is, if there's certain form or something I can take from it. And this isn't me being nice. I would look at some of his cleaner drawings. I'm not taking pictures home and jerking off to like mice. And
let me borrow this stuff. Let me study it.
Yes, I'd like to learn your technique.
Yeah.
But no,
Corey, did you spill water on here? There's watermarks all over.
Why are my drawings stuck together? But I would look at his stuff, man. I would be like, I could learn from this guy. He actually is a great artist. The only thing keeping him back is that he doesn't have the confidence to apply it to other people's artwork because people put him down a lot.
Right.
And once somebody was honest with him, that's why I say honesty, man, with people.
Honesty is the best policy.
Man, if you want to know why we're like sometimes we make fun of people or we're straight up with people or whatnot. I got made fun of the majority of my life growing up, and I swear to God, it made me, well, probably a shittier person today, but it helped me. It did help me a little bit.
Kick some scent in your head.
It helped me. Now, I'm not going to go out and tease people, but I see where just being brutally honest with people sometimes helps.
Yeah.
So,
good. Hey,
tell you what, man.
Good for him.
We're reaching our halfway point here.
All right.
Let's go ahead and stop this, and then we'll
take
move
a little
on.
break.
Yes. Let's take a break. Yes or no?
Time to exercise, fat people.
It's raining out there, man. It just got through thundering. And lightning.
Hell is breaking loose outside right now. I'm scared, Corey. I'm scared.
Like being in a haunted house in here.
Oh my God.
Man,
Hopefully the lights won't go out or the power goes down.
Well, if it does, I'm gonna be there hugging you. So.
Oh God, please.
Hold me.
No, get away.
Yeah, so if you hear a crash, it's thunder outside. It's raining pretty hard out there right now.
It's windy. It's raining. Everything. Yeah.
You might hear little
elements of a bad horror film. Yeah.
Damn. So I think
don't get scared now, Corey. Be a man. Be a man.
Damn, I think I just saw a woman on a bicycle go by the window right there. My whole point about talking about Dave was that we made fun of him for going to see his mother. Now what am I doing? I'm going to see my mother for Valentine's Day.
All that from seeing David.
From seeing David, yeah, I know.
My mother, epic story. Yes.
My mother who puts R's and everything. Like I said earlier when we started, my mother does that, man. She puts. Yeah. She puts that not everything. It's just a couple of words that she does that with. The one I know that she does the most. When I was a kid, she used to come in my room and she would tell me, Corey, stop spilling crumbs everywhere. You're gonna cause roaches.
Roaches.
Like roaches. What the hell are roaches? Like,
roaches.
Like what kind of species are you talking about?
Is that like the sparkling drink? What is that?
What? Yeah, roaches
sparkling
grape
wine.
Roaches grape juice. Like man, where'd you get that from?
Reaches. Well, what is he? Chinese? What's going on?
I gotta call roaches. What?
Reaches.
Roaches and reaches. You're not that suck your rod.
You don't ration.
I even told my mom. I said, Ma. I said, so, we got these things running around. What are those bugs that come around and when things get dirty? She said, "Are you talking about roaches?" I'm like, no, yeah, exactly. I said, do you hear yourself saying that?
Yeah, roaches.
She's like, what? I said, Ma. I said, spell that for me. I said, spell roach for me. And she spelled it ROACH. I said, now put an R after that A and say it. She's like, I said, what are you? She's like, what are you trying to say? I was like,
She said, "You're hanging out with that goddamn robot again."
you and your
What are you?
I knew I
Who
should have got
you?
you that toy.
Yeah, I know.
Man, that 2ZL
I
or
ain't
what?
playing your goddamn
XLZ,
2XL.
XLS, you know, what is it? TLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I should
Your
have got you
STD robot.
that. But yeah, man. So I just the whole time I'm thinking like
Hey, it happens.
Since Dave was doing, I was
Yeah.
tking like, I hope my mom doesn't think I'm like, hey, you ain't got nobody this year. You want to go to Red Lobster?
Oh no!
I mean, that's not gonna happen, but you're thinking you're just
Oh,
real
my-
paranoid about stuff.
What?
So yeah. Anyway, man.
Stop being paranoid.
I know. She'll like that. She'll appreciate that.
Yeah, good for have fun with your mom.
But Coles, what should I get her?
Get her, no, get her a dildo. I don't know.
Oh.
What do you want from me?
I guess I asked for
I
that.
don't know. Give her something she can use.
I'll tell
Corey.
it came from you.
That's a gift that keeps on giving.
Oh man, so I don't know, man. What are we missing
Oh,
here?
I know what we're missing
What?
on this dark and stormy night. Yes. You got done watching Dead Set, eh?
Yes, that's what we're
Hey-o!
supposed to talk about.
That's right.
My God, man.
What did you think, Corey? What did you think?
Dead Set is amazing.
I told you. I tell everyone.
And see, I didn't even Dead Set people. It is a zombie series.
It's a zombie. It was a series based consisting of 5 episodes.
But it was a short series. It was
a
what do you
short
call it?
series, yes.
Limited series, miniseries.
Yeah.
It was a UK miniseries. Excuse me, I'm burping. It was a UK miniseries, and it's about people have seen it. You know the story,
Right. I think we explained it last week, but
We'll tell you again.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell people.
Well,
Sum it up quick.
Basically, yeah, it's about a group of people. It's based around a series called Big Brother, and basically, it's a bunch of strangers. They live in a house and they get evicted. And this thing is like huge over there, and it's pretty much the equivalent of our American Idol. So anyway, the series is based around the event of the first night where they're kicking somebody off the show.
They're having an eviction night.
Yeah, they're having
And
an
it's a
eviction
big
night.
deal. Everybody's crowded outside the studio
Yeah,
to
they
see
got
them.
people outside the studio. All kinds of craziness is going on because of it. And while all this is going on, a zombie outbreak occurs, and slowly but surely, all hell starts to break. Just the whole world basically just goes apeshit crazy.
Well, we don't see the whole world, but
No,
what
you
we
don't
see
see it,
in
but
that
you know,
proximity,
yeah.
it looks like the end of the world.
Yeah, you start realizing like this is a global thing because I mean while you see the directors and everyone directing the show, in the background you see like TV stations broadcasting like chaos. Basically, chaos is erupting everywhere, and no one's really paying attention to it until all of a sudden, the outbreak actually happens right outside the studio where they're where they're doing this huge interview.
And it's like there's just little room for survival because being that there were tons of people outside that studio, of course they all get infected.
Everyone gets bitten or eaten, and they get infected, and then it just
you
spreads.
pretty much surrounded at that point.
It spreads like wildfire. Yeah, and these are the type of zombies that they're the running zombies. So it takes no time for the world to fall apart, and once it does, oh man, it is one hell of a kick-ass ride. I mean, they do not waste any time. With that first episode, it's about 45 minutes.
It's about
or so.
45 minutes. Yeah,
they get you. They settle you in. As far as introducing you to the characters, the people who you're going to be hanging out with, and a lot of them just aren't likable. And the thing is once all hell breaks loose, you actually, as much as you dislike some of these people, you honestly start to worry. You're like, because the scenes in this show are so intense, like you feel the tension. I mean, they know how to set the mood up in this series, like a series I've never seen before.
And for a television show, it is extremely gory.
It's incredibly gory for a TV series, and I don't know what the rules are as far as what you can broadcast.
It's gorier than
at a certain time.
than most movies.
It's a lot gorier and more graphic than a lot of stuff you see on HBO, I'm sure. Like if they had a series like this, I mean, they go all out. I mean, there are effects in here that almost pay homage to Day of the Dead. And that's honestly the best part of Day of the Dead is when you start seeing people getting torn apart. I mean, it is brutal. I mean, they don't waste any fucking time, and they don't care. I mean, you see heads getting ripped apart, and it is nasty. There's nothing you don't ever go, oh wow, cool. you go, oh fuck,
Oh man, it once it starts, because the only slow part that I can think of is at the beginning. Where they're introducing characters. But once you get to know those characters and that outbreak happens, it does not slow down for a moment, man. I mean, we're talking about 5 episodes because the first one is 45 minutes.
The rest are about a half an hour.
About 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so addicted after watching it. I watched it in 2 nights, and I stopped one night because I said, if I don't stop, I'm going to be up till 9 o'clock.
I was the same way, and and by the time I caught that last episode, I was like, after I got done watching, I said, holy shit. And I think I called everyone I knew and told them about this. And I was like, you know what? You're gonna get to see it. And I got you a copy. And I was like, you have to see this shit.
And I watched it, man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I think I gave my copy away, too, because when I was at Joel's place, Joel had a guy stand with him for one night, and he was giving me some DVDs. He was like, hey, I'm going to give you this. It's programmed right here. And I said, well, you know what, man? You called me at a good time because I want to get something back to you.
Yeah.
And I said, have you seen Dead Set? And he's like, no. I said, you like zombie stuff? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, ask no more questions. Just go watch this. And he's like, well, what? I said, don't ask anything. Just watch it.
Yes.
Just watch it.
And that's the best thing to tell people. Don't just watch it. I gave it to a friend of mine. He was like, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was about zombies, but by the time I really got into it, I could not stop watching, and I was addicted to it. And I was even upset when it ended. So it's that good. I mean, it's insane.
Anybody who's ever seen, it's a combination, and I would say, and look, when I don't mean this in a bad way either, but you can say inspired or whatever, but it's pretty much ripping off Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead.
Right. No, it is. Yeah.
Pretty much.
They don't. They use the same Romero rules.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scenes that you can just, it's a straight up
directly lifted from those
homage
movies.
to Day and Dawn of the Dead.
Even like the new Dawn of the Dead, they take certain inspiration from.
Yeah.
And I only say rip off because if you're gonna rip something off, do it well.
Yeah, rip off. If you're gonna rip off from the best, and that's what this show did. And the thing is, the clever thing about it is they definitely made it their own. Even though you realize, oh wow, this is like almost like the same scene. Those characters are so their own characters. That's the one thing separating this from any other zombie movie. The characters are great. I mean, the people that you're not supposed to like, you really dislike, and
the people you like,
you're honestly,
only a couple of them.
Yeah, there's only a couple of them. You're honestly like hoping that they're going to be fine, but when they, regardless of that, when there are scenes where there's somebody you don't like and they're walking through a hall, you're still scared shitless. You're like, oh shit.
Well, that's the thing.
There's a tension in that the guy who directed it. You were telling me he's done some.
Okay, the guy who did it. He's not even a horror guy. I mean,
right.
He's a comedian. He's a columnist. I think he does a television column for something like The Guardian.
Right.
And his name is Charlie Brooker. So he's a comedian, a satirist, a column writer. And so I guess he wanted to make some kind of statement about Big Brother there in London because for I understand, now we had Big Brother here.
We had it. I think we had. No, I think we had it for like a season or two.
Because that
and
show
then it just disappeared.
Okay, yeah, it was. Somebody told me that it was actually inspired from a Dutch show. Maybe it's not even from London. They said they remember seeing something like that when they were little, and so. But it's huge in London.
Yeah.
So I guess this guy wanted to make a statement about how everybody is so into this show that they're like zombies.
Right.
So that was his. This was his statement. You were telling me that the host. Now, if you watch Dead Set, the host of the show. She's kind of the equivalent to our Ryan Seacrest.
Right.
They actually got that woman to be in the series.
Yeah, and man, I mean, she is fantastic. I mean, because obviously, if you watch it, she gets it. And
she was great.
And as a zombie, she was fantastic. I mean, you were scared shitless when you saw her. I mean, when she was banging down doors and
when they had her be
people, you were like, oh, fuck.
Because when they're zombies, I mean, they are none of this whole. Even George Romero, if you ask me, he fucked up when he tried to make them think in zombies. Zombies to me, if you're talking about the zombies that come back to life, and I mean, they have nothing to think with. They're animals. They move by. They go by instinct.
Right.
And these zombies have savage instincts.
Oh yeah.
And there's two people stuck in a room. And they can't even get out because this one bitch is out in the hallway. And they think she's gone. And right when they peek out, she comes banging on that door with her head.
Oh, yeah.
She's slamming on there with her wall. I mean, whoever, I don't know if that was her or the direction or a combination of both. but it's that kind of savagery that gave you fear.
Oh yeah,
through this whole series.
And that's the thing. Like that's what I love most about zombies, because they're you and your brother and your sister, and when you turn, none of that matters. They are going to tear you and rip you. Yeah, they are a force of nature. They are going to tear and rip you apart and eat your goddamn spleen, and they're not going to give two shits about what kind of past or whatever you once had. I mean, they are killing machines, and this series, I mean, it really brought back the excitement I had when I watched Dawn of the Dead, and how much I was into the story and into the characters, and just once the scenes happen where they're ripping people apart and everything is just you feel the. Was the small scenes of the world falling apart, you feel like it definitely is a global thing, and it honestly made me go back to Dawn of the Dead and go, wow, this is why I love this genre.
Yeah,
it makes you think. Obviously there is a message, but they're not banging you over the head with it.
No, they sum up that message.
One
simple shot.
Yes, and one simple shot, and it's my favorite shot in the entire series. I'm not even going to tell anybody.
But you know what was?
You need to see it.
You know what's great about that shot? That shot, it conveys the message. It's artistic.
It is.
It is done without words, and it is frightening.
It is.
It is eerie.
It's frightening, and at the same time, it's also kind of sad.
It's sad too.
Very
no,
sad,
it's very. It's after all this shit went down, it even makes you sympathetic.
Oh yeah,
towards something that you were scared of before.
Right.
Man, people, look, it's amazing, and I'll tell you something, co-host. I don't want to. I don't know how much time we have. I don't know if you want to get into it.
I'm ready.
But
get into it.
I look at something like Dead Set, and after thinking about our conversation right here, this is something, and maybe people, probably shouldn't be talking about this, but I won't go into it too much. But we saw the recent Friday the 13th.
Right.
And I look at something like this where I said they pretty much ripped off another movie.
Right.
They could pretty much be a remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Right.
Dawn and Day of the Dead combined or whatever. And I look at something like Friday the 13th,
right,
where they don't even try.
Yeah.
And it makes me look at something like that and saying, there's a difference between just cashing in on a name and applying artistry to something.
Right.
Call Friday the 13th something that's shallow, something that is just basically just slash and kill.
Right.
Okay, but it sparked the imaginations of fans.
No, it did. And the thing is, though,
and I'm insulted by this remake.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know. That's where I think that's where we disagree, because I would have given it a matinee just because I was entertained by it. I mean, I had a good time watching it, but no, it's not the type of movie you go home and you think about. There's no need for it, just because the material isn't. There's nothing to think about.
But
I mean, it's just a guy killing people, which I understand, but I see the faults in it. I definitely see the faults in what you're talking about. But that original series to begin with, there was nothing really thought-provoking or really that interesting. You almost had to take an entire, let's say 6 or 7 of those movies to really get a good idea of, okay, this is what the character's about, this is what the character does. Which, I mean, you can get that in 3 or 4 of the movies.
The first 3.
But as it went along, it's almost like they kept on building the mythology. The kills were all of a sudden more of why you went, to see how crazier can they get with the kills in those films and the body count. Where a movie, where a genre like the zombie genre, it's not usually about that. When it's done right, that's not the main focus. Because God knows there are plenty of bad zombie movies where the focus is just them running around killing people. And their characters you could just give two shits about. The zombies aren't scary. They're just there. Either they're slow, or there's no tension. Whoever's making the movie, they don't know how to build tension or even tell an interesting story with interesting characters.
I guess that's my point. Is that I don't rely on, this was just this from the beginning, so we're just going to repeat something that was nothing anyway.
Right.
No, if you're going to do it, do something. I'm not saying you have to do something that's high art even. I'm not saying you have to reinvent something and make it incredible. You don't have to make it good. Just make it somewhat different.
Right.
Because, like I said, looking at Dead Set and then looking at then going back and looking at Friday the 13th, I'm even thinking about Friday the 13th before. Those are some gruesome movies, and people really weren't. I mean, when the slasher genre was coming out, they really weren't. I mean, we had was a guy that did the only person that we really had doing it. And those were kind of underground cult movies. who did 2000 Maniacs and
Rob Zombie.
no the original.
You
know what I'm talking about, Lewis.
God. Now I'm forgetting his name. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Damn it. Yeah.
Wizard of Gore. All the. I mean, those were shock movies. Then,
Right.
But really, people going to the theater and getting Friday the 13th was one of those first ones. I mean, people were like, "Wow, this is violent, man. This is crazy."
Well, Friday the 13th, like I always said that due to Halloween, those movies kind of started it with the whole slasher thing, and just the guy wearing a mask and killing people, and then it evolved into how crazier can we get with the kills, because just stabbing somebody is boring.
There was an evolution there.
Yeah, there was somebody who
and like I was saying in the review, we see. We don't know what's happening. I mean, when like in the second movie, we don't know Jason has come back and is killing. We don't know what he is.
Right.
We don't see him getting that mask. I mean, when he gets the mask, then we're like, oh yeah, that works.
Right.
When you repeat that, I mean, we know all this already.
Right. No, it's all they did was follow the same formula, and they didn't tell anything new. I mean, there's nothing new as far as bringing anything interesting in the character. No, you're right. There was nothing really. There was nothing special there. I
guess the thing is, I complain about remakes because look, I had no problem with you. Want to talk about a movie that was remade and I remade that good, but I remade that well, but I still have fun with My Bloody Valentine.
Right.
I saw that and I'm like, you know something? They put it in 3D.
Right.
They don't. I mean. It's a bad ending, but it keeps you. You don't know. At least they have enough dignity to let us.
They're trying to do something.
They're
different.
trying to do something with it. There's
Something,
an effort being made.
Exactly.
There is no fucking effort in Friday the 13th at all. And so I mean I don't mind remakes when they're done right, but we complain about why they're remaking things when they're not going to change anything. Well, guess what? With Friday the 13th, they didn't do it.
Right.
And another worthless remake. I mean, we're going to complain about remakes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't completely call it worthless, only because I would much rather prefer to watch the remake of Friday the 13th and then jump to the ones I like. Like, I can watch the remake of Friday the 13th if I was hanging out with somebody who'd never even seen those films. Like, here, watch this one. And then you can go on and watch part 4, part 5, or part 7, my favorite one, instead of having to sit through parts 1, 2, and 3 of the original,
people should see part 1, 2, and 3. People should see
part 1. Part 1 is good because part 1 sets it up. But I mean, if you just, I mean, the thing I like, but the thing, I was never a big Friday the 13th fan to begin with, to be honest with you. I mean, I always thought the character was, I mean, Friday the
13th part 3, I mean, that's where he got the hockey mask.
Part 3 was cool.
You got to tell people to watch that
Part
one.
3 was cool because, he got the hockey mask, and it was in 3D. I saw it in 3D, and it was cool. But other than that, after that, I mean, I just never, that character was never really interesting to me because I was always a Michael Myers fan. And I always thought, this guy is the same. It's the same deal, but he's wearing a hockey mask.
After 3, I mean, what was Jason after 3? I mean,
he was just a killing machine. But I mean, I can easily watch. I have no problem watching the remake. I mean, when I saw it, I had a good time, and that's it. But no, it doesn't change anything. All it did is follow the same formula that we've seen 100 times. But you know what? There's something I still like about that formula, and it still works for me. Where I can see that and I can go, yeah. If I was going to tell it, I could never tell anybody, hey, you know what? Watch Friday the 13th 1, 2, and 3, and you're gonna. No, I could never honestly do that because those movies, for the time they were great, they were fun to watch, but kids these days, they've seen all that shit a billion times, and it would be nothing new to them.
Let me ask you something then. Why would you tell them to go watch the remake then if it was all the same thing?
I tell them to watch the remake if they've never seen the originals. Only because it gets to the point, it gets straight to the point of what that character is and what he's about.
And see, I think
it's like an abridged version. Of all those 3 movies.
See, I think that this, because I mean, they, with all the bad dialogue, I mean, back then, even the bad dialogue in those movies and some of the bad acting, even that seemed more genuine than we get here. I mean, this movie is made with a bigger budget.
Right.
This movie is made with,
it is a polished up version, just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So there's no reason for it to even be that bad. That's why I would say go watch the originals where it's more sincere instead of this bullshit where they just try to just truncate stuff for you and just narrow it down to the most shallow parts. I mean,
but the thing is that it definitely it had moments where I thought I was like, oh shit, it had some oh shit moments. Nothing crazy. I mean, but it just the fun of seeing it with an audience. I think that's That's the deal with a movie like that, where you want to go on Friday the 13th, see it with a group of people who are already invested in that character. Because for people like you or me, who's looking for something like completely different and a little bit more interesting than what the original films gave us. No, you're not. Honestly, you're not going to get that. They're obviously going to cash in on the name, number one, and the character, and it's just going to give them an excuse to make more films. I mean, that's all they're doing. They're just breathing new life into a dying series, I guess. Which they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You didn't change anything, so I can't be completely pissed off.
Well,
You're not pulling things out of your ass. And no, it's not a Batman Begins, but I still enjoyed it. No, it's not for everyone.
Well, no, it's not.
It's
no way.
It's not for everyone.
I'm not going to
at all.
compare it on no scale. Like, well, it's not this and that. I'm
Right.
just saying, I'm very disappointed.
I understand.
I didn't
I
even
understand.
hate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, look, I'm not going to come out and say this. It was total bullshit because you're right.
Right.
There were some moments and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Right.
Oh, that made me laugh. Like I said, I'm just.
Dude, the thing is,
I've
seen worse. I've seen far worse, and I've seen far worse from a lot of. They've still. It's not like they stopped making slasher movies, and because of these remakes, they're coming back. No, they've always still been around. They've just been going straight to DVD. But I've seen far worse, and this. I can honestly say, I was entertained. Do I walk away thinking about it? No, I don't. I just saw it. I had a good time in the theater. I had a good time because the person I was sitting next to Mary, and she was freaking out throughout all the scenes.
Yeah. No.
So that contributed to me having a good time.
No, I would
in the
say
theater.
if you haven't seen it, then,
Right.
if you haven't seen any of those movies, and watch it, and you'll see everything you
Right,
see.
yeah.
But I'm just staying consistent with when we say they're remaking something.
Right.
Almost everybody throws up their hands and they say,
Right.
"Shit, well, they're not going to do anything different than they did in the original."
Right.
And I'm staying consistent to that.
Right.
I'm not going to deter from that. If they didn't do anything but just regurgitate something because it really felt like they were cashing in, I'm like, I'm just going to.
And that's what it is. That's what it was.
But like I said,
I still have a good time. No, am I ever going to recommend people? Like, am I going to tell people you have to go see this? No. I'm like, if you like that kind of shit, go see it. Go see it with a bunch of your friends. If you got a bunch of friends that are dying to get, just have a good time in the theater and just watch something stupid, you checking your brain at the door, go see it. What's the big deal? Yeah.
Look, you know me. I never tell people, like, I'm not going to argue with you if you liked it. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I think it's
right.
I think it's
well, a
pretty
majority
useless,
of those people loved it, but that doesn't. Those screeners,
come on,
they
man.
love
Those screenings,
everything. I know.
I just heard a review of the
know.
Pink Panther from Leon and Cyrus where the whole theater was laughing. We
my
can
God.
never go.
Yeah.
That's why when somebody says, you know what, my kids loved it. You in the theater where everybody loved it. All right, if you in one of those public screenings, they love everything.
Right. And hey, but you know what? I have to admit,
They love Paul Blart.
Yeah, but I have to admit, I am guilty as far as something like that. Something like that, with Friday the 13th coming up, you do kind of want to. You do kind of want an excuse to go into the theater and just hang out with a bunch of dumbasses and just get drunk and hang out and watch a scary movie. I'm looking forward for them to make what is it?
Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, April Fool's Day.
when the song can come out on April
that
Fool's
was
Day?
yeah. I'm like, yeah, give me an excuse to go out with my friends, get drunk, and hang out at the movies and just laugh at something stupid. Just like My Bloody Valentine. I would never say My Bloody Valentine is a work of cinema art and had some deep story, but it was fun to watch with the right type of people.
I just was not as bored in
Right.
that as I was. Because after the first, after the first half hour, I was like, wow, this movie.
I was
ain't
entertained
really-
until honestly, like at the tail end. That's where I got bored, only because you realize that there's only like a couple survivors left. So
what are you gonna do?
he's not going to kill anybody else. So I might as well just leave now because that's why I came. I came to see. I came to see how people are going to get killed.
And that movie
just
has
see
like
Jason just walking around, just being Jason. Yeah,
running around in this one. That
he's running. Yeah, he's running.
I guess the other thing I was disappointed by is how just blatant they do something really stupid at the end of that movie just to keep it open for a sequel. They do something dumb.
Well, that's it's funny because it's almost like you have to do that with Jason because how else is he gonna?
Well,
Jason
can do that, but
I know.
as
You're talking about when they start?
I'm not talking about Jason. I'm talking about what the people do.
Oh yeah. Where they're
It's
hanging around.
I'm just saying.
okay.
Nobody would have done that.
Of course not.
What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's just
I don't
like
know.
I said, I'm not asking for Batman Begins.
I'm not
with the
asking
Friday
for
the
Batman
13th.
Begins. I'm asking for something just a little more creative.
The thing is, I definitely wanted to see something cool with that character. And I always say, if you want to see Jason be an interesting character, watch Freddy vs. Jason. I thought that's the only time they ever made that character even interesting for me to where at that movie I was rooting for fucking Jason, and I'm a Freddy fan. So you know, but hey, you know, it's you know there's going to be a sequel, so you know maybe they'll work on their mistakes. Who knows? But
what can they do? They ain't gonna give a fuck, man. I mean, that's the thing. I'm sitting up here talking about it. It'll probably. I'm sure to make money its first weekend. After that, I don't know.
It will.
But the first weekend, yeah, it's gonna make tons.
We'll
of money
find out, but you never know, man.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know with these audiences. Goddamn, Mall Cop was #1 for goddamn 3 weeks.
I know, and one movie that I thought would have been #1 a few weeks ago was not.
Yep.
In fact, it came in pretty low. So anyway, let's go ahead. You want to go ahead and move on to some email?
Let's do some email. Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, not that I can think of. No, I don't want to talk about the Leog thing.
I don't either because I don't even understand what happened with
that.
It's
just but hey, you know what? I have fun doing Leog. I love those guys. They treated me like a king. I love the band. Anytime somebody wants to try to do a theme song for me, those guys are great. But yeah, we were just having a good time. It turned into what it turned into for reasons I will never know. I don't even want to figure out.
It's going to be one of those things where we either jump into it
and I don't want to.
People going to be like, well,
what are you talking
about?
I just want to let everyone know I had a good time and there's no hard feelings.
Okay, so I'm still not sure.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't even know what happened.
Okay. And you don't need to know.
Okay.
It's in the past. It's history.
All right. Before we get an email, I saw something funny today. I don't know what it was, man. We always talk about homeless people. We talking about homeless people the other night on a couple of goals.
I thought you were going to tell me something else. But go ahead. I'll tell you what I thought you were talking about.
No, tell me now.
No. You go. Go ahead.
No, I felt real guilty because there was – I'm an evil motherfucker, man. I felt really bad.
Are you making fun of the homeless again? Are you setting them on fire again?
I'm setting them on fire again, yeah. You know, the way they run, and they got those trench coats on. And
they look like zombies.
They got that beard, yeah.
They
got all that hair, you know, all that greasy hair. It catches on fire real easy. They run down the street. But, no, man, I was on my way back home today before we started doing this. I was on the corner, and I stopped at a stoplight. On the corner, there was a homeless woman, and she looked right at me, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, here's what the problem was. I just stopped and got a Twix.
Yeah.
And she looked at me right when I had that Twix, and I'm like, I'm eating in front of a homeless person. I was like, I gotta get, and I have money. I gotta give her. She's looking at me while I'm about to eat this Twix. And I'm thinking, shit. I was like, come on, she's hungry, and she's looking at me eating and driving, and I got a car, and I'm like,
you're successful, yeah.
Yeah, I'm eating Twix and driving a shitty car, yeah. You know that's success when you eat Twix.
And she's giving you a guilt trip. Is that what the deal is?
Nice.
I would have told her, don't look at me like your mama don't feed you.
I guess I'm successful in the fact that I just got a roof over my head, but. Right. But no, I was looking at her, and I wanted to give her some money. But right when I was ready to give her money, a car drove because there was an extra lane. Right. There was a turn lane between us. I was going straight. There was a left turn lane.
Right.
So I just like, well, I don't know when this light's going to change. I don't want to cross the street, and I don't know what's going to happen.
You make a spectacle of yourself.
Yeah. I went everywhere from. I'm going to either make somebody.
You were in no position to give her money.
Well, I was going to make somebody impatient, either the car that she's crossing in front of, the people behind me, or she was going to get hit.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, well, I don't have any money to give her. And I felt guilty because I was thinking, man, anybody could be homeless in this economic environment.
Yeah.
And I had a picture. That woman, that woman morphed into one of those people. She had a bag next to her. Right. I thought it was a dog at first. And she morphed into looking like those homeless people that are standing out there with a leash and a dog. I saw myself as a homeless person, and you were like on a leash next to me.
What?
I'm like, man, anybody can be homeless. I'm like, you and I could be out there. But I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now, here's the evil part I'm talking about. It's a woman. It's a homeless woman. And it's kind of dark. And I'm thinking, this has gone through my head before. Like, I've seen those young homeless girls walking around and shit. I'm like, I always thought, man, if I gave them enough money and say, hey, get in the car, I'll pay you to come home. You take a shower and you get all nice and everything. And what would you do for about $30?
You sick son of a bitch.
I was just like, I'm homeless, man. I'm
bastard.
And
she's homeless.
I know.
She's lost all hope, and you're gonna take her home and try to bang her.
I was just wondering.
You sick
bring
son
them back,
of a bitch.
Scrub them down.
You need help, dude.
And let me scrub them down. I'm evil,
you know they're going to be hairy as hell down there. They haven't shaved or taken a bath or cut their hair.
We'll stop by the store, get some clippers or something,
God.
man. I told you. Now it's one of those things
you're
where
sick, dude.
you're never gonna act on it. All right, you're never gonna do it. But that
I
is
don't
one of
know
those things
about
where
that.
the thought you can't help but that thought crossing your mind. I was like,
You couldn't help but think that shit. No, don't start pretending that you're the rest of the audience here.
I'm just the one that will admit it.
No.
Everybody's seeing
sick
that young,
son of a bitch.
and it's sad because a lot of these youngsters, man. I'm not one of these people. I'm one of these people that would give homeless people money. I've given $5 to somebody that I thought,
along with some penis. Right? You sick
girl.
bastard.
No, look, man, I'm sympathetic. I'm not one of these people. I would give if somebody just needs a beer, fine. I mean, you out here in the hot sun begging
Mr.
for money.
Humanitarian.
Exactly. No, I'm not one of these people looks at the homeless and say, oh, that person could get a job or
You lazy son of a bitch.
punk ass.
You wash yourself up ugly. Get a job, you loser.
come by with a bucket and throw water on
You're going to
them.
have to throw a lot of pies to afford a suit like this. You goddamn clown.
No, I look at these people, man. I'm like, you never know what somebody's story is. Yeah, you never know if somebody's mentally ill. You never know if they just fell on hard times. Not
just never know,
You
yeah.
know, a lot of people say, "Oh, that young guy, or that young girl's out there." And they probably live out in Westlake, a nice part of town. They're just slumming it as an experiment, and laughing at us. I'm like, man, a lot of these young kids are from abused homes, guys and girls. They're from
Right.
abused homes, parents who and sexually
And if they come to
abused.
your house, they're going to even get
They
more
gonna get
abused.
some more. That's the only thing that like keeps me from maybe like going on with it. Like, man,
Yeah.
a lot of these young girls they've been sexually abused and they're disturbed and
Probably.
they got problems but it has stopped. It made me think like, hey,
That's great, Corey. Yeah.
All right, I
You
should
keep
move
it.
on.
I thought you were going to talk about that kid that almost got ran over by a train. Did you see that?
No,
It was
what
a
happened?
kid. It happened in the UK, and you see this guy crossing these tracks, right?
Uh-huh.
And you see another kid right behind him. And he jumps over the railing, and he starts running, and then all of a sudden it's like you just see a train like just whiz on by. This
Holy
kid looked like a
shit.
jackrabbit. He jumped up as soon as that, and I think
Bing, bing, bing.
the train like barely clipped because you saw his shoe fall off, and he jumped up like a jackrabbit. He fell back on the ground and hauled ass to the other end, and it was just the funniest shit ever.
Holy
that
shit.
kid came like a second away from death.
From death.
And it was from the UK. I thought it was Hex. I thought Hex jumped over and he saw that train. He goes, tally ho! And he's like,
You know Tex does that.
he's like, woo! Tally ho!
Tally ho!
He's trying to,
Every time I talk to Hex, there's the point where it sounds like somebody threw him down a well. Hex is one of the Brits that we talk to
Yeah.
online. I'm running away.
yes, he looked like I was like this in UK. That's Hex. Tally ho! Oh, I must shit me britches. Hope you're all right, Hex. But no, you need to look for that video. They were playing it all on the news today. It was amazing,
Man.
It was hilarious.
Oh man, I'm gonna go look for that.
It was crazy, dude.
Dumbass Brits. No, I'm kidding. That's, I can see Hex doing that. Doing that little bony, that little bunny hop with his hands.
Up and away.
Return to the Shire.
Oh no!
This is for
Oh no! Watch out for the trolley.
This is for Middle Earth.
Oh, I survived. Now I can go on and continue with my crimping. Oh my God! He can watch more episodes of Old Greg. Old Greg.
Speaking of the Brits, man,
Uh-huh.
the boyfriend
Uh-huh.
in Dead Set.
Yeah.
People, if you've seen Dead Set, there's one guy. I guess he's an Indian guy. Huh? One of the main characters.
yeah, I
he's
can't- I
one of
don't
the
know.
guys he's
Right,
one
right.
of the main guys.
Right.
But you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know
the
who you're
boyfriend
talking
in the show. One of the guys on the site, people, Nick Hodges. Nick just told me he came from a video shoot with that guy yesterday.
Oh no shit!
Get this, that dude. Now this boyfriend in the movie, he's like some pretty boy Indian looking guy.
Yeah.
Wants to be a rapper.
Oh really?
Can you imagine that dude rapping?
Oh, well.
You talk about Tally Ho. That dude looks
have you
like
heard some of the rapping in Britain? I mean, it seems
Even-
like anybody can. I mean, it's a majority of talking and rhyming and sounding like this. No, I don't know.
Tell you who I do like who can rap.
Who?
Is okay. I
Come
don't
on,
know.
now. That good, huh?
Because I keep wanting to say Manute Bowl, but Roots Manuva.
Okay.
You ever heard Roots Manuva?
No.
Roots Manuva. if you haven't heard Roots Maneuver, people, British rapper, that dude can actually rap.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have probably even heard like one of his beats. Witness the fitness. And then that's the okay,
no,
that did not help.
Sorry, Corey. I'll have to look into that.
No, people look. And Roots Maneuver is he's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's one of the most mainstream. I mean, he hasn't really crossed over, but some of his music is if you're into underground rap, underground hip hop, he's probably one of the dudes who at least you've heard some of his beats, man, and then he probably heard some of his rhymes too. But he's good.
Well, I talked to Nick, and I told him the only rap I know over there is The Streets and Lady Sovereign, and he almost laughed at me. He was like, No. The Streets. Now you talk about if you listen to The Streets, and I know a lot of people who gonna hate me because the Streets has a lot of. They have you see that guy or group. I think I only know one guy. He has a big following.
Big following. Yeah. It is one guy. Okay, because I've seen some of his videos.
He used to record himself in his basement apparently, and just started handing out tapes, and that's how his career started.
That must be how it started because that's one dude I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I'm talking about British rappers. This is how that motherfucker raps.
Yeah.
Okay, this is no kidding. Co-host, we're going to record a show. Come on, let's go. I'm going to come on the computer. Now I'm going to go to the bathroom and take a pooter. Now I'm going to come back and we're going to talk some more. Then I'm going to go out the street and rent a whore. Right. It's like things like that, man.
So see, exactly. And coming from Britain, I'd assume, you're telling me that this guy, the guy from Dead Set, wants to make a rap album. I'm like, okay, that's what I figure. What's in the show Dead Set? Almost got eaten. Yeah, I was looking for my girlfriend. Yeah, I walk the streets. Zombies everywhere. I gotta run. Gotta go. Tally ho!
Tally ho! I almost lost my brain because I almost got hit by a train. You know, that kind of shit.
There you go. That's awesome. Yes, record that.
Yeah. Now see, we could go to Britain.
We could do that shit. We'll be stars.
Yeah, let's record some shit right now.
Overnight sensations over there.
Hell, you know what I mean? But
where's that 8-track?
But Nick told me. Nick. Look, I probably even shouldn't say. I want to cost Nick a job.
Don't do that. No, then don't do it.
Nick only worked on it for one day. But Nick, I said, Nick, how's the guy as a rapper? He's like, You know.
He's good.
Yeah, he's excellent.
He's awesome.
He's excellent.
Yes.
He's a regular Roots Maneuver. Seriously, though, people, if you want to hear some good British hip-hop, check out Roots Maneuver. He's probably one of the more accessible right now. Nick has been sending me a lot of other shit that's pretty cool. But a lot of it sounds like kind of club music. But it's still kind of hip-hop.
Yeah. I told him to turn me on to some stuff.
Yeah, he'll send you some stuff, man.
Cool.
He's sending me a lot of cool shit. So let's go ahead and get into some emails. Speaking of rhyming, man, a lot of people say that email song, man, they want to know where that's from. I was like,
oh, what? The rock?
Yeah, rocking and rolling. Let me see if I can put it on.
That is an exclusive.
That's a Spill exclusive.
Right here on Spill. Yeah.
That is our Spill email
That's the
music.
only way you'll hear that shit.
Yeah. A lot of people said, man, you got that song in my fucking head. A lot of people want me to keep playing it. I was like, well, I was going to do it a couple of times and let it go, but because it's hard to play it.
Put it up on your page.
I should.
Yeah, do that.
I should do that. But I'm going to transfer it to something that makes it a little bit easier to
just play.
Play because
right.
because
Corey has to do 20 things on the computer.
Play that one shitty song.
Yeah.
I gotta jump some loops and hoops to play that.
He's pulling out his wrench and screwdriver.
To play that song, that's some fucking work, man.
Damn. And that's a Mac you're working on there.
And that's a Mac. Everything is easy on a Mac, but yeah.
You got a screwdriver.
Wait a minute, hold on. Here it goes. Yes, it is. Yeah, rocking and rolling. Yeah, boy, rock.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, whoa, rock and roll.
I like that. Yeah. No, it won't stop.
Yeah, I got to put it on something where you can hear it clearer because you hear it. It's not like it's across the room. That's because I got the speaker up to the computer.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, I could just edit it into the show, but I like reacting to it because man, that dude is serious. He's singing.
I know
the guy that made. He ain't joking around. It's not like he went and played around. Somebody else added the music.
Yeah.
So he has some other music for it. So that's not his thing.
I'm sure we're gonna see his movie version of like Hustle and Flow. How he created that. And how he got his shit played on our show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the big climax. Yeah,
he's sitting in a room with us. Yeah,
the guy who's operating the Casio keyboard, he's gonna be like doing janitor work at the McDonald's. And he's gonna be somebody's gonna be listening to our show. He's like, Wait a minute.
Yeah, hey, that's me.
That's me.
Rock,
Rockin' and rollin'.
I just love the way he's singing his ass off. Like that,
Oh,
got
yeah.
that one part where it's rocking, like rock.
And they say white people don't have soul.
Shit. You kidding? Hey,
There's the proof right there.
bear witness, man.
Yeah.
Witness the fitness.
Yes.
He's gonna be him in the streets. He's gonna be out there doing
Yes, on tour.
roots maneuver.
Damn.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get some email.
All right.
We're gonna breeze through these.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how this show started out as we're gonna do an email show and said, "Fuck it, we're gonna talk as much as we can about whatever we want to."
Call it an email show anymore.
I know. I'm glad we never did. It was,
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't listen.
This is from that's his name. No.
No, good name.
Sorry. This is from Kamikaze24. Kamikaze has this to say. He says, what is the most surprising, shocking ending to a movie that made you say, what the fuck? If so, was the movie good? I got the perfect one. The last movie that made me actually just coil back and say, what the hell was that?
My Bloody Valentine 3D.
No, Friday the 13th, the remake. No, it was Wreck.
Yeah.
At the end of Wreck,
yeah.
you actually didn't know what the hell happened, what was going on, and you said, what just happened there?
Yeah. I totally agree. Yes. I'll have to say Wreck and another one, I will say Inside. Yeah. I was shocked at that horrific ending.
Okay, Inside was one where I was like, whoa.
Yeah. You're just like, wow. Okay.
There are a lot of movies that I see that are good, and they're not horror movies, but at the end,
Right.
I say, wow, that's amazing.
I wish I could say Sixth Sense, but some jackass fucked that up for me.
Who did that?
Some dickhead who was working there in the theater.
Oh, that
he was
sucks,
outside
man.
going, "Did you see that crazy, shocking surprise ending? Holy
Oh,
Jesus!"
because-
and I was like, "That's all I needed to know." Before I was like,
Wow, that's
And I was like, "You motherfucker, goddamn popcorn pushing son of a bitch, pimply fat fuck."
you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You should have beat his ass down,
I
man.
should have gotten a dog to rape his head.
But that's a good point, though. Sixth Sense was one of those movies where
Yeah.
at the end of it, I don't look. You got people now who come out and they say, "I saw it coming."
Right.
I'll tell you, I didn't.
Oh.
All right. What?
Unbreakable. I had no idea it was going to be a superhero origin movie.
I did.
Really?
I saw
I
it.
had no
I saw it
clue.
coming. Yeah.
I was expecting Ghost or something, and I think as well as the old lady who was right behind me.
Oh, really? Is it just because
And
of
then
M.
she
Night
said,
Shyamalan?
"What the fuck?"
Well, when I was watching it, I said, "This is working out like a comic book," but I didn't know what they were going to do. But I was like,
Yeah.
"It's just like a comic book." And then at the end, I was like, "Oh, well, that's why."
I knew nothing about that film until I went and sat and rolled my head on that chair and watched that shit.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into our next one, which is from Q says, with all these talks of remakes and whatnot, what are some remakes you consider actually great or even better than the original film? Well, I can tell you one. Dawn of the Dead. I don't know if it's better than the original, but I thought it was good.
It was good. No, it was good.
So it was surprisingly good.
It was surprisingly good because that was the one film where I was like, "This is sacrilegious. They cannot do this. Whoever is doing this remake should be shot." And I was pleasantly surprised when I watched it.
But if you count Asian films, The Departed.
The Departed. The Thing will always be my top number one.
The Thing
will always be my
excellent,
top number
yeah.
one remake of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, The Thing is that probably that's
it
up
blows
there,
the
man.
original out of the water. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I know.
What
I
else?
I saw some. I'm trying to name.
Oh, we
things
mentioned
from
The
other
Ring.
genres.
I think yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of.
Are there some comedies that I've seen that are better than the original that they remade?
Damn.
Oh, I'll tell you what I liked. The Nutty Professor. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good version on par.
Yeah, it was.
with the original.
Well, with Jerry Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Eddie Murphy's Nutty Professor was. I thought was pretty good.
It worked.
Yeah.
Unlike the Honeymooners, but
who had in their mind that they wanted to make a black Honeymooners,
I don't
man,
know.
with Cedric the Entertainer? But yeah, I thought that
we had to
was
watch that on a plane. That was torture.
All right, let's go to No Future.
No Future. I love that name.
But you know, it's spelled Know.
Oh my god. No Future.
Okay.
What does no future
and they
have
said,
to say?
They actually said, question for LTD, a.k.a. IAGAIEMON.
What?
I am a goat and I eat my own milk. The official subtitle.
I guess we need to make a shirt of that.
The official subtitle of this show.
There you go.
It says, have you noticed that sometimes the most out-of-place soundtrack choices add to the radness? The radness.
That word's coming back.
It's coming back, man. Radical of a movie and are a perfect fit for the film. Ghetto Boys in Office Space. Oh, that's true. Prince and no Prince and Batman. I got to disagree with you on that.
Oh, come on.
What are some of your films that use crazy out-of-place soundtracks? Huh.
Wow.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Damn. I'm trying my best not to think of any older films. I mean, you can say the one sequence in the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That's kind of like that's fairly
I'll tell you
popular.
what. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The lyrics were in line with it, but I don't know if other people would have thought about this. I hate to go back to it, but since I just mentioned it, I'm thinking of the title sequence for Dawn of the Dead, where they're using Johnny Cash's song.
Yeah,
and it's all done acoustic, and there's all this horrific shit going on.
Yeah,
and it's like this song fits perfectly for this, and the way it's edited to that.
Yeah,
yeah, because you wouldn't think. I mean, it's an ominous song if you listen to the words. I mean, it's there's a man in town taking names. And so, it's they're pretty much talking about the devil.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the damn song now, but that song, I was looking for that song all over the place, and I have to admit, I'm not the biggest Johnny Cash. I know, like, obviously, Ring of Fire, all the obvious ones, but that song I've never really heard before, and when I heard it in that movie, I was, like, looking for that damn song. That was an awesome song to have in that movie. What else? What's another... Jeez, that's a good question. I bet. Yeah, it's this is one of those questions where
you think
we're going to have all kinds
done.
of shit coming to us as soon as we stop recording.
Okay, you listen to. I'm looking at my DVDs over here. If I was to give you the soundtrack to Akira, would you ever think of a motorcycle chase scene?
No.
Exactly.
Well, just because it's.
But the music, the music is done. I don't know what kind of music style you would say, but it sounds like. Look, I would say for. I'm sure there's a proper category. God damn it, a proper place. I want to say categorize. Say it with me.
What?
I'm gonna get through this word. God damn it.
Okay, he sounded out, Corey.
Categorization.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, you sit up here looking at me.
I didn't know what the hell you were trying to say. Cadillac? I don't know.
No, there's a good categorization for this kind of music, but it sounds like world music to me. It comes in.
It sounds like a mesh of cultures there.
But you look at it,
Indian, and the drums and everything.
In that scene, and it works perfect for that chase scene in the movie.
Oh, I'll tell you one that came to my head. The song in Silence of the Lambs, where the guy is like, he's showing his mangina, he's putting on his lipstick, and it's that 80s song. Like,
what was that song?
Goodbye, horses.
Oh, yeah,
And I was like, now every time I hear that song, it just creeps me the fuck out. But I love it. I love that song, though, because of that movie. If I would have just heard that song, just somebody playing, I would never think about it. I would like turn this shit off. But seeing it in the context of that film, during that scene, creeped me the fuck out.
Oh yeah,
and you hear the lyrics and everything. It's like goodbye horses.
Yeah,
it's fucked up, man.
Oh, I'll tell you one. Master of Puppets, when they did it in Old School, when they were going through and grabbing all the people and pulling them in the van to recruit them for the sorority. Do you remember?
Oh, my God.
For the fraternity.
Wow.
Do you remember Old School?
I do remember.
And they were playing Master of Puppets, and they were driving around.
I guess so. Yeah. It doesn't stick out, but yeah, I'd remember that scene. But I mean, I heard. I mean, Master. I was just like, oh wow, they finally used a good Metallica song in a movie. That's all I thought about.
And a lot of 70s Brit and pop. Brit pop and just pop in general. really makes me think of a Wes Anderson movie now. If you think of Rushmore, I always think about the Who. Like whenever, especially during the trailer, like they would show like some scenes from the movie, and you hear that don 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 don, and for the Royal Tenenbaums, they're playing
all of Wes Anderson films.
Well, for the Royal Tenenbaums, for the trailer, they're playing the Ramones, and they're just showing clips of people just standing there, not doing anything.
Oh, I got a good one.
What?
Clockwork Orange. Ludwig von Beethoven.
Oh, Beethoven. Yeah,
Beethoven being played through a lot of those scenes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, you got some good ones,
one,
man.
Yeah. Jesus.
All right. Well, that's a good question. No.
Good one. Good one.
Okay. I'm trying to get to people who normally don't get their questions answered here. Okay.
Let's look at the ignored people.
Yeah, I don't want to ignore people here, but there's some people who are new here and they don't have their questions answered. Okay. Here's one from somebody, Sam S. I don't know. Have we ever answered this question before? I don't know.
I don't know.
He said we got to answer this.
Yeah, we've already brought up his
man.
name. Yeah.
And we have?
No. I don't know if we have or haven't.
He says, be a man and answer this question.
Okay.
Well, shit,
we'll try.
Manhood. All right.
Corey's the only man here. I'm a robot.
There are plans to make another Indiana Jones. What the fuck? And he even says, what the fucking fuck? Look, I loved Indy 4, and the haters can go fudge themselves. I like the way he says, fucking, and then he gets to, like, fudge.
Fudge themselves.
Fudge yourself. Freak yourself, dude.
Yes.
But we don't really need another one. All these 80s reboots are getting annoying. Yeah, tell me, man. And make me worry about other ones in the works, like Beverly Hills Cop. What's your take on this? Well, look, you just heard my take on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just summed it up very clearly where I said if they can do something innovative or better with it, then I'm all for it. I'm not going to say don't do it, but if you just repeat what you've done, and chances are the originals did it better.
Right.
And I'm against that, strongly against that. What do you say?
At this point, I just don't care. I mean, like I said, it's a whole new machine as far as Hollywood rebooting these things. I mean, they almost have to. I think now they do that to actually pique interest in the original films, which I don't mind. But no, I can't really waste my time thinking about it. I mean, they're going to do it, and I just, I'll just hopefully, I can only hope that, it'll be, hopefully someday I'll get another John Carpenter The Thing out of it, So, no, as far as, reboots, I could really care less. Well, if I had it my way, there's certain films, they just don't need to. Like, honestly, Friday the 13th, it didn't need to have a reboot. It was just another Friday the 13th film. It could have been Friday the 13th Part 9 or part whatever part they're at, part 13, where it's just the same. It's just the same shit.
I agree with you on one thing though. I will say this: it doesn't detract from the original.
No, not at all. No.
I just told.
No, I mean, for crying out loud, they just re-released the first 3 Friday the 13th. Along with the 3D glasses for the third one, which I have.
Oh, well,
so
you have a point. So they're probably bringing this stuff out on DVD.
Yeah,
and they're saying,
it'll give them an excuse to just to breathe new life into the franchise, which I don't mind. They did the same thing. They did the same thing with My Bloody Valentine. They actually released the original with a bunch of missing footage that was taken out from the original when it came out.
Yeah, but
so
it's like
stuff like that is cool. But I mean,
they did something at least interesting with.
They did.
But I mean, look, I remember talking tonight when I called you up. I was talking to this girl who that works at this place where I go eat sushi, and we talk about horror films sometime, and we start talking about Sergio. What's his name? Argento. And so
Dario Argento.
Dario Argento, and I told her about Suspiria, and she's like, "Oh, that's one of my favorite movies." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I said, "Well, they're remaking it," and she threw a fit, and I was like, and I just like, look, you love the movie, just because they're remaking it doesn't mean the old movie's going to disappear.
No,
so
no.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question.
All right,
let's see. Let's answer a question from Z Gamer.
What does he have to say?
What does Z Gamer say? He said he has a question for Let's Do This, dog.
All right. Let's answer it, dog.
Okay, he has 2 questions here. I'm gonna give you 2 questions because we're only gonna answer one. These people trying to sneak in these 2 questions. Okay, question number 1. What do you think of what has happened to At the Movies now that they replaced Richard Roper with those douches, Ben Lyons and Ben Markowitz. I don't think about it, so I can't.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that show in years.
I haven't watched it since. Yeah,
I'll tell you. That's a good question. I'll answer. I'll tell you that whatever chemistry they had going on with Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
As soon as Siskel, as soon as he was gone, I didn't care anymore.
Heard those guys hated each other, and whether that's true or not, there was some sort of chemistry there.
Oh, yeah.
Now you get these people. This is what I wanted to avoid any of us doing, and this is what I admire a lot of people having their own voices now on the internet. Instead of coming out and saying, well, I think this movie is this and this. I mean, that's what they do now. This is a bunch of fucking talking heads. It's like, anybody can do that. You know, give me some personality behind it. Give me two guys saying, fuck you, man. This movie's good. The other question, what do you think?
Give him us. I don't watch those shows, so I have no answer really. I mean, Siskel and Ebert it was a great time for those reviewers because there was nothing like that on TV. And it did make it fun, especially when they disagreed on something. And I mean, for crying out loud, they became icons, and they were getting parodied. As soon as you start getting parodied on like Saturday Night Live or something like that, you made it. You've made it. And those guys were definitely a product of the time. And as soon as the chemistry, as soon as Siskel died, that chemistry wasn't there anymore.
Now this could parlay into our next question here, which says, what do you think is the future of film criticism? What will it be like now that we are losing people like Roger Ebert to bloggers and other wannabe critics? Yeah. Not you guys. You're awesome. No, well, thank you. We try. Yeah, right.
We need to work too.
Exactly. I
don't know.
You say wannabe bloggers, but I think you have people now that you're giving a free forum for people to express themselves. You're getting a lot of garbage, but you're also getting a lot more interesting personalities show up that was missing on something like At the Movies.
Right. Yeah, you're forced to see people put on shows that a network would never agree to put on, because it's just so out of the box and different that they wouldn't know how to handle or advertise a show like that. So that's the one thing, the one great thing about the internet, and especially YouTube, is there are a lot of interesting reviewers out there that will try to do something different and make it interesting, at least for them. And I think the same applies to us. I mean, when I do the reviews with you, I mean, I just try to make them fun and
that's what we do.
Just fun. You know?
We just try to
try my best to be honest. So,
I think once you get too professional and you're on TV, you're tied down to not be yourself, not be as open. I mean, you can give an opinion, but it's very formal, and I don't think you're getting a real person.
Right.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for. As I said, the internet, there's a lot of garbage out there, but you pick through it and you find some people who really have something to say and find people doing different things. I don't care if it's a guy who's dressed up like a homeless person doing mock reviews. I mean, at least he's trying to do something different.
That's something I'd see. That's something I'd watch.
Yeah.
But I would kill to see a homeless person review Friday the 13th. I would kill for it.
Exactly. And look, if you want the more academic or formal type of review, then you have that too. But
that will always be there.
That will always be there. But I think it's just nothing that's really lending itself to creativity.
You're right.
And maybe it doesn't always have to. Right. So let's go ahead and move. Okay, I'm gonna answer a question from this chick here because she has a picture up, and I don't know if it's her. I'm speaking, of course, of pink chopsticks.
Pink chopsticks, eh?
That sounds nasty to me for some reason, but oh well. Pink Chopstick says,
sounds like a good band.
Hey, Corey and co-host, this is my very first time asking a question. Well, you better make it good.
Don't tell us your problems.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear that shit. No, it says, I always wondered, what are your guilty pleasures when it comes to movies? Ooh. A chick flick, perhaps? Mine is Tyler Perry movies. I love them.
I know Corey's. The Notebook.
Yeah. I like The Notebook, man. Yeah. She said something when she said chick flicks. I mean, there are some chick flicks out there. Like Notebook. I mean, I don't even consider that a guilty pleasure because I thought it was a good movie.
Right.
I mentioned this before, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I said guilty pleasures for me. It's something I don't watch over and over again. Okay, I'll tell you something that's a guilty pleasure for me. Let's see. I like really bad animal movies, killer animal movies.
Right. Like Food of the Gods and
Food of the Gods, Squirm.
Wait, no, Ben wasn't a giant. Yeah.
Well, not just killer animals. They don't have to be giants.
Oh, Ben. Okay. Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about killer animals.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like
Ben,
slugs, squirms. Those movies are terrible, but I love them. There's a lot of just. I kind of am a fan. The cheaper some movies are made, but if they're entertaining and funny, I like them. Somebody just put up a clip for Insane Clown Posse's movie. What was it called? Big Time Hustler, Small Time, something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks terrible.
Right.
And I said, I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I really love anything that's kind of low budget and cheesy, especially from back in the day. Like I'm talking about the 70s era,
Oh, yeah.
blaxploitation, really cheesy action flicks,
Right.
and killer animal movies.
Right. No, I'm a big fan of the obviously the slasher films. As much as I can easily sit down and watch a Friday the 13th, even though I could say he's not one of my favorite slasher characters, but he is a staple of the slasher, and I love seeing the kills. That's the most interesting part to me. But let's see. Now, as far as a specific movie that I can call a guilty pleasure, I want to say Life Force. I don't know what it is about that movie. That movie is all over the goddamn map.
The space vampire?
The space vampires, but I love the fuck out of that movie. There's times when I hear people talk shit about it, but I swear to God, if it's playing on TV, I will watch the whole goddamn thing. And I actually own it on DVD. So, that film, what else? I'm trying to think of another. High School Musical 2. That's no.
Yeah.
Oh, Showgirls. I love Showgirls.
Oh, really?
I will watch that goddamn movie for all the wrong reasons. And I proudly own a copy of it. Yeah, every once in a while I'll throw it in and get a good chuckle, as well as get some fine as moving and shaking from the super hot titty girls in there, including the girl from Saved by the Bell, which was wow,
yeah, I forgot her name.
That was the cool. Yeah. What the fuck was her name? Oh well, the titty girl. Yeah, that's what I'll call her.
and I guess you could say, yeah, maybe I do like some romantic comedies, because I will go home. Like The Notebook, I wouldn't go out and just tell everybody I love that movie. But I like that movie a lot, The Notebook. And then when I go home and spend some time with my mother, she'll have it on Lifetime.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me she's watching Dolomite.
No. But I would get caught up in some of that shit, man. I'm not even lying. I will get
You
caught
know
up.
what? I'll tell you what. As far as now, there's no romantic comedies, but as far as like a show that I just cannot turn the channel for whatever reason, Gilmore Girls. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about that show, but if I get caught watching it, I cannot turn that shit off to save my life. I don't know if I'm just caught up in the whole aspect of the daughter and the mother. It seems like, man, you know what? I can hang out with these chicks. I don't know why.
I want to do these
I don't know why. I do not know why. But I can hang with these girls, and I'd love to spend the
Gilmore Girls.
I'd love to spend the day with them and just hang out at the coffee shop and talk to, what was her name, Romy or whatever. I can't remember her name, but yeah, try to talk to her about college and how hard it may be. Don't ask me why, but yeah, I thought I needed to seek some help because of the damn Gilmore Girls, and I was like, I don't know, there's something subliminal going on. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Hey, man, I can't talk about you either, because if we want to jump into television. Well, I guess I did with Lifetime, but I spend most of my day watching children's programming on TV.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Corey.
From dusk till dawn, man.
Yeah.
If I'm up early, I will flip channels from, and I'm talking about stuff for preschoolers, because I love anything with puppets. If you make a movie with puppets, I will watch it.
Dude, there was some show on Nick Jr. You talk about crazy shit on TV. There was some show on Nick Jr. that it was just random crazy shit. And I remember there was some black dude who was, I can't remember if he was like in an orange wig or something crazy.
Oh.
And he would just look in the screen and say something crazy. It made no sense.
And he wore a purple jumpsuit.
Yeah. He wore yeah. There you go.
And he hung out with all these people in big crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that show.
Yeah.
But that brother did look crazy, and I forgot the name of it, but I watched that too sometimes.
I call that unemployed television, because that's the only time I ever had to watch that shit was, you're not working, you're just sitting around, just like, well,
yeah.
I ain't going to look for a job today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
I love
and
anything.
You see all that shit.
And you watch all that all day.
Yeah.
Disney Channel used to be good for that. They used to show this show with, it was stop motion animation, and it was done about these two koalas, and they had a plane service, and then they were like pilots, and then they had this other stop motion show where it was this girl who was a little clown, and she hung out with a short little midget lion.
Right.
And I watched that shit. They had the Deedle Bops or something. It was like, you could tell it was like two gay guys and a girl, and they were dressed up in like these really weird, exaggerated costumes. They went out and performed for kids. Those Australian guys.
With the Wiggles or
the
Wiggles. I'll tell you the worst one, dude. And this is I feel like they're gonna lock me away because of this one. That show called Lazy Town,
Sporticus.
That goddamn show.
And that girl
with the girl with the pink hair.
What was her name? Stephanie or something like that.
I think Stephanie.
She had like a purple dress.
Yeah, she had like a pink kind of dress with the pink hair, and she was always singing songs like ding dang dong dong dong.
Oh yeah,
everybody is dancing.
And they do that shot with
yeah.
Okay, so
everybody knows how to bake a cake. And
they do that shot with Sporticus when he puts his legs up there like he does the splits and he goes up in the air.
That guy with that strange
Italian
with that dude.
No, he's French.
He was French.
Oh.
Okay, he looked like
Sporticus.
he looked like one of the lost Mario brothers. But, that show. Oh my god, I don't know. I could never turn it off. But
man, and
it was
why
crazy.
You feel guilty because you didn't do anything. But a lot of people looking at that girl Stephanie.
Oh
and
yeah,
it was like, she's hot, man.
Oh, I know.
And she's a little
scary.
girl, man.
Yeah, it's. Oh my god, yeah. She is
on,
pedo bear approved. I don't know.
But no, I can't say. Lazy Town was a show where they had there was all puppets.
Yeah,
except for the people.
three characters. Yeah, there's the bad guy who looked like a screwed up version
Robbie Rotten.
Yeah, right. He looked like a screwed up version of the Mask or something.
Yeah, they had prosthetics on his face, but they gave him a big chin.
Yeah.
And then they had that little girl. I forgot if her name is Stephanie, but yeah, she wore that pink wig and that pink.
And the
dress.
guy you're talking about, Sporticus, he was like a superhero that hung out in
the whole
giant
message,
blimp. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was a giant blimp, and the whole message was get out and play and get some exercise. Get your lazy ass up and do some shit.
Yeah, and dance and learn how to brush your teeth and learn how to bake cakes.
And do the splits.
And sing ding, dang, dang, dang.
And they did that at every end of the show.
Everybody is dancing, dancing.
And they always, like I said, I remember that shot where Sporticus would jump in the air and they would freeze it for a little bit, like, and then he'd do the splits and he'd come
terrible.
Back down.
I feel like I'm going to get arrested right now for talking about that goddamn show.
Oh, man, I know. I feel bad for naming all these shows because there's this other show called Cyber Chase.
Yeah.
Now, Cyber Chase, it has Gilbert Gottfried in it doing a voice, and Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd is I forgot, he's the villain of Cyber World. He's Hacker is his name, and Gilbert Gottfried plays this bird character. He's a good guy.
Of course.
Yeah,
who else
of course.
is he gonna play?
He's always playing a fucking bird, man. But
why are you on a
why you hacker? What are you doing? But they had at the end of it they have Gilbert Gottfried comes on. He's like, stay tuned for more Cyber Chase, and then he say now it's time for Cyber Chase for real, and then they bring on this live action segment, and they're hosted by, and I love this part because they just, I don't know why, you just see things that you just have some appeal to you,
right? And
what it is it's two people. One of them is this guy, I forgot his name, but he would do things. He would do things and have like dumb things, and they have to figure out how to solve the problem, but with math.
Right.
And then they had this girl named Bianca. Now I'm hoping to God that Bianca is legal, and I'm pretty sure she is.
Oh no!
Because I've sat back and I feel guilty because Bianca is this girl. She looks like she's half white, half black. And she's got. I love the poofy hair look. And Bianca comes on and I sat up there trying to like rationalize. I'm like, okay, Bianca lives in New York. You never see her parents. It looks like she has an apartment.
Right.
She goes shopping by herself. Yeah. She has a different job every
week.
She's
18.
And so I'm thinking, yeah, she's okay. She's 18. She's got a boyfriend.
Legal.
Yeah, exactly.
Barely legal. Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. Bianca is an actress on this show, and I've been sort of stalkerish and looked her up online.
Oh no!
And they got her online. She's like, "Hey, hire Bianca to come to your party." I'm like, who the fuck wants Bianca to come to your party? Unless Bianca comes to my party, yeah. I got a party for her.
Yeah, but along with the homeless girl. Yeah.
Maybe I'll catch her homeless one day.
Damn.
But so it's not. She's clearly an actress,
right?
But I saw her on this commercial where they said, "We asked these people on the street what they think about crunchy oat cereal," and Bianca was one of them. I'm like, that bitch ain't no average person. I see her on Cyber Chase.
She's too old for me.
Yeah,
get out of here, old broad.
You're eating your crunchy nuts.
Oh my god! I tell you what, though, the one show I do miss, Teletubbies, my friend. Woo!
Oh, Teletubbies was badass.
Watch that show. God
man, Teletubbies spawned a new show. It was like these big fat round aliens.
Oh no!
And
yeah.
I can't even describe it. I'm not even get started. But it was the next level of weirdness, and it did get weirder.
Oh wow!
They
Okay,
like doing that repeated thing, and they make those weird noises.
yeah.
And,
All right, I might have to check that out.
yeah. See if you can find it, man. I wish Leon knows the name of it. So
Okay.
don't
Oh,
ask
of
me
course,
why.
of course.
Don't ask me how he knows.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let's do 2 more emails.
All right, 2 more.
2 more. Here we go. Like I said, I'm trying to get to the emails of people.
Unfamiliar faces.
Exactly. I'm trying
Ding
to be
dong,
fair.
dong, dong, dong. Hurry up and let's do this. Email.
Let's do spill email for real. I'm looking for it. I just had one here. Oh, here it is. And this is from John, a.k.a. Mr. Burn Notice.
Mr. Burn.
It
Notice.
said, what movie would you have wanted a sequel to that didn't have one?
Oh, shit.
It's funny how these questions seem easy when they're not thrown to us, to our faces.
A sequel to a film.
Incredibles?
Yeah. You know, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't even done a straight-to-DVD sequel to that one yet.
Yeah, I love The
you see,
Incredibles.
that's like Disney's staple. That's what they end up doing. But, yeah, The Incredibles, shit. I almost want to say, oh, man, there's one I just know I'm thinking about right now. It'd be interesting to see a Thing sequel.
Or a prequel.
Or a prequel, yeah.
They've been talking about doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's right. I did hear they were talking about doing a prequel to it. Yeah.
And I was against they were talking about doing a remake. Again, not too fond of that.
Right.
But they talked about doing a prequel because there's some stuff because that ship landed on another base somewhere, right?
Yeah,
And, yeah.
It was a Norwegian group that had discovered,
And that's why they were trying
yeah.
to hunt the wolves and everything
Right,
because something went bad.
Yeah,
Something went horribly wrong.
Shit happened,
And
yeah.
they want to show what happened at that Norwegian base.
That would be cool. Yeah,
And I think you're right. That
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be cool, man.
Damn. Whoo. Let's see here. I'd like another sequel to Freddy vs. Jason, but that's just me.
That is just you.
I would kill to see another sequel, please.
I like to see
I'd take that over the new Friday the 13th anytime, actually.
You know, I would take Fred. I don't even like that movie, but I would take it over the Friday the 13th movie too. At least they're trying something different.
Yeah. Well, they made like I said, they made Jason interesting for me in that one. So
Okay.
I liked it. Yeah.
I'm going to read this. It's not a question, but I told this guy get him a shirt. People, you hear me now? I'm going to get this guy a shirt because I promised him one. This is from Cody. Cody's mad as hell too. Cody said, "You promised me a T-shirt as soon as you get some on the call-in show." I get that you're busy, but it's pretty much been a year. It's still no word.
Damn, Corey.
Keep waiting, son.
I know.
And still no word from you. Well, hope to hear back from you soon. Okay, Cody, you hear me now. It ain't been no goddamn year. All right, quit lying. Just quit lying, Cody, okay?
Damn, Corey.
Fucking lying.
Lazy. I got my shirts out the other day.
Well, lottie die. Well, lottie, Sporticus, excuse me.
I get shit done.
Busy man here.
That's right.
Got things to do. Okay, Cody, I got your address here. I'm gonna get you a shirt tomorrow, so you can leave me the fuck alone. No, Cody, I promised you a T-shirt, and you're exactly right. And you, thank you for being on my case. You will get a T-shirt. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for writing me enough to even want a shirt.
There you go.
I mean, because
Cody will have his goddamn shirt, damn it, on a silver platter.
Had it been me, I would have said, "Fuck that son of a bitch! I don't want the shirt that bad."
We'll also give you
Spill T-shirt.
Also give you Corey's head.
In a box, wearing your shirt.
What's in the box?
Yeah, you put your shirt up, you look back. Oh, there's something else in there. Ah! Okay, let's go.
Let's go out on a good one. Come on.
All right,
Give me the best you got. Give me the best you got.
let's go with. I don't know what the best are, so I'm just gonna
All right.
go with Emir
Emir.
because he's got a lot of chicks on his avatar thing.
Oh, he does?
Oh yeah, he's getting chick. I thought it was a bunch of dudes hugging each other,
Is
but
he
it's
a chick magnet?
no, he's getting kissed by some fine ass girl in here.
Chick magnet.
He says, "I've just finished watching 2001: A Space Odyssey."
Don't tell me your problems.
Not realizing it was released in 1968.
Eh.
It didn't look like a 60s movie at the time, but more like a 1990 movie. Really? You think so? Because
Yeah.
I think it it's
Stated
done well.
if you ask me, depending on what scene you're watching. Yeah.
So my question is, do you know more movies that were way ahead of their time? P.S. Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Movies that were way ahead of their time. I'm wondering,
Empire Strikes Back.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can watch that one now. It could have been made today for all I care. Yeah.
Nah. We were talking about those. If you want to talk about movies that were ahead of their time, okay, I hate to go back to a basic one. I won't even elaborate on it. But a lot of Orson Welles movies were ahead of their time. Touch of Evil.
Yeah.
Magnificent Ambersons. Citizen Kane was even kind of ahead of its time. But if you want to get way back there, a movie that is controversial and people will hate me for bringing it up, but Birth of a Nation was ahead of its time. It's one where D.W. Griffith made the movie where the Klan became invented because they had to. The Klan was created to keep the blacks down because they were taking over the government and just going nuts.
Yeah.
It's funny how that worked. For people who don't know the story of Birth of a Nation, black people were let out of slavery. And they were just going crazy. They were taking over the government, like they were in the White House, propping their feet up on the desk and smoking and ogling white women. And the white man, all white people actually were like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And so they see the wind blow, and the wind blows this sheet off the clothesline, and these two little black kids are like, "Whoa!" And we gotta get out of here. They get scared.
Yeah.
And we're talking about silent film people. And so these people decide to dress up in white robes to scare the black people. Hence the creation of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh.
So the Ku Klux Klan, this movie, were the saviors of the day.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, ahead of its time
food for thought.
and some shitty ways in it. But I think this movie was, it is rumored to be, there's a debate going on that some other movie was ahead of its time before that. But it's rumored to be ahead of its time because it started doing cut editing, there was actually editing and cuts and would cut to scenes, and it was like some long feature film too. Anyway,
wow.
But the movie, I just lost track of the movie I was going to say recently. Fuck, man.
Damn, that's a good question though. I'm trying to think. God, for some reason I got some of the silent. Oh, go ahead.
Before I forget. That's what I was going to say was ahead of its time. I can't. I wish I could still remember this guy's name. Herschel Gordon Lewis or something like that.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. Don't you have one of his movies here?
I do. 2000 Maniacs.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his time.
Right. Oh yeah, as far as the gore factor.
As far as the gore factor. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was. Yeah, there's some shit in 2000 Maniacs where you let me borrow that. I wasn't too. I've heard of the guys, but I wasn't too familiar with his work. But as soon as I started watching it, and it got to the gory scenes where they're like, cutting people's legs and shit, I was like, wow, that's pretty graphic for even a film like that. It honestly did blow me away. I was like, wow, a lot of horror films don't even go that far anymore.
Yeah, I just looked at it. Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Yeah, there you go.
Was the director. Yeah, Wizard of Gore.
Yeah,
he had like his Gore trilogy or something. 2000 Maniacs.
Right. And you turned me on to him because honestly, I've always heard of those films, but I never took the time out to honestly watch them. And you turned me on to them.
No, they're pretty great, man.
They are.
Man, what other movies were ahead of their time?
That's tough. You know what? For some reason,
well, let's say
I'm thinking about. I still think some of the silent films, more of like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the Nosferatu, and Metropolis.
Are you talking about like those German expressionist films?
You know what? It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because you can watch those films today, and I think they are still interesting, and the stories are still very much relevant.
You know what?
You're
right.
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, they were the creation of something new. They combined. They combined a lot of avant-garde with science fiction and horror, and they made it all like a compelling story.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because you still can't get something as original as those films, these days, obviously, because obviously a lot of people are ripping those films off, and especially with like the ending. You take the ending of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and people are still ripping off that fucking film.
Oh yeah,
but the look and the visual style, I mean, extremely innovative of what they had to work with back then.
Yeah, no, that is true. Oh man, that's a good one, man. I mean, that's a real good one. If you want to talk about, an animation, I think Disney was I mean, we can go on all night about this.
Right,
Disney was a forerunner with animation, bringing up Snow White.
Fantasia.
Yeah, he did everything. I mean, he was playing with shit. Fantasia probably is more innovative than more ahead of its time than Snow White, because that was an experimental art film he was trying. And he was trying to he was creating art, trying to combine music and visuals.
Right. And apparently that movie, when it came out, it wasn't like it didn't get this kind of success that you'd imagine it would have gotten. I mean, am I wrong on this?
No. I mean, and it was an experiment, and people don't want to. They didn't want, like today. People don't want to go to a theater, just sit down and watch all this stuff. I mean, they were more accepting of it back then because it was something new. Right. But still, people were like, after an hour of this shit.
I think it garnered more recognition as time went on, as far as like just something innovative as far as just animation synced to music, and telling a story with hardly like no real like dialogue, or no narrative pushing it forward.
Oh,
just a series of images, accompanied with music.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you're exactly right. That was a bold step for him to do that, and it was pretty incredible. Quentin Tarantino, of course, I think just created something completely different. And I mean, but we're talking about movies that probably sparked something. I think you touched on probably the most. The thing that was, because you got to do things that people don't understand at the time, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like they were either people were repulsed by them or they didn't understand. That's why I named Herschel Gordon Lewis, and because you hit on something real good by saying Fantasia. So yeah, but
there you go. Damn.
So yeah, that was a good question.
That was a good question. That was a great question.
So
is that it?
That's it, man.
Woo!
I think a lot of your blaxploitation films and a lot of movies that you hear about.
Yeah, I'll always say Night of the Living Dead, because that's the first time you honestly saw a black hero. I mean, a guy who, I mean, he smacked a white woman, for crying out loud, which you think that would have caused an uproar, but he was like the main character. I mean, he was the guy that it was very rare back then to see any kind of black hero, and I think sometimes it gets overlooked because it was a horror film. You
know what? But people do make a big deal about that. To this day, even George Romero talks about that, how he had a black hero in his movie, and that was definitely ahead of his time, because we still didn't see that caliber of black leading man. Our protagonist in a film like that.
Yeah, and it's a shame, because I know that guy. I want to say he died a little. I can't remember when he died, but every time I watch that movie, it constantly blows me away just how good of an actor he was, and it would have been interesting to see him do more work. Yeah, I mean, it's every time I watch it, I mean, he's amazing. I mean,
that's a great answer, man. That's a damn great answer.
Thank you. And that's what we try to do here on Let's Do This.
Tell you what, we're gonna answer one more, because we can do this real quick. And this guy,
all right,
this guy was very nice.
Why not?
This guy's very nice.
Go for
it. He says
the nice guy will at least win on this show.
Exactly. At occasionally.
Yes. Every once in a
while. You will be last, but you will not finish last.
Yes.
This is from the Black Knight.
Oh.
Speaking of black people.
Yeah.
Yes. Martin Lawrence. He says, I'm just wondering if it would be possible for a reboot of the X-Files movie after the second one bombed. Hey, look, I summed that up real quick. Not anytime soon.
No.
They gave that movie 2 chances.
Yeah, and it blew. It blew. They blew any opportunity of any kind of interest in that franchise out of the water as soon as they released that last film. I mean, that last film was god awful.
Yeah,
and it deserves to be
I didn't
ignored.
see it, but I remember.
I saw it, and it was, oh my god! I wanted to just shoot myself after watching that film.
I tell you, I think that they would have a better chance of rebooting it as a TV series instead of a movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I can say you can easily go back and watch some of those episodes. A lot of those episodes still stand up. And I'm talking about the standalone episodes. I always thought that show was far more interesting when it didn't deal with the main storyline. Yeah, I thought it was far more interesting when they were doing just like one shots like individual stories. Like Home will always be my favorite X-File episode. Dealing with the
inbred.
crazy inbred family. Yeah, I mean, that was the coolest thing since, at least for me, before they even came out with the new remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was like, that's the closest thing anyone has gotten to as far as a creepy, rural setting, dealing with an inbred family. It creeped me to hell. I mean, I even had a nightmare about that shit one time.
I did, man. No shit. I did too.
Yeah.
That night that I saw that,
yeah.
I dreamt about that episode, and I woke up. I woke up. That's how crazy. I
woken it up.
I woke up and I broke out. I woke up and I was freaked out. Man.
Yeah, that was better than any goddamn Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. To be honest, I mean that's that one episode. I mean, I was like, wow, this is some creepy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as X-Files rebooting, I mean, I'm sure there's shows going on right now. I can't remember the name of the show, but I want to say there's a show kind of similar to X-Files playing right now on TV. So, I mean, I'm sure that formula, it's going to be around. I mean, somebody's going to do it and probably do it better eventually down the road. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not – after that last movie, I could care less about the X-Files. And I feel bad for those fans. I mean, I know that show had a huge following, and it just started to teeter off and get worse and worse with each following episode. And then they came out with that last movie – to where it just seemed like somebody just wrote a script just to get it out there. And just, you can easily say, I'm more disappointed in seeing that X-Files movie, that last one, than I am watching the new Friday the 13th, to be honest. Because I was pissed. I wasn't even a fan. And watching that show, I was like, wow. Watching that movie about the X-Files, I was like, wow, they just totally took a shit on that entire fan base by saying, hey, you know what? We really don't care about these characters anymore. We're just throwing out some half-ass script. I mean,
damn,
and
boy,
this is what you guys get. Thanks for your loyalty and your patience, but we don't give a fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you got some strong feelings about that.
No, I was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'm not even a fan.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, man, I don't think we can top the emotion that you put in that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna go.
Don't take me back there, Corey, to that time. Don't do that to me.
Leave me alone, people.
Get X-Files out of my head. God damn it.
We have another 2.5 hour show. I don't know why people complain about this shit. I mean,
I don't think anybody. It's funny because a lot of the comments I read, people were like, another 4-hour show, but man, it's awesome. And hey, when I read that, I'm like, hey,
let me tell you what, man,
break it up into parts.
I really, when I think about this, I'm really thinking about the people who. You want to know who somebody else who's ahead of that time?
Who?
Ralph Bakshi. Before I get out of it.
We're going to go back to that?
No, I'll leave it alone. Ralph Bakshi was way ahead of his time.
Corey's answer right there. Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking about the people who go to work and they're sitting there all fucking day.
And in an 8-hour day.
Yeah. I'm thinking about those kids who are walking around and don't have a car and they got an iPod, so they got to walk back and forth to school and all kind of stuff. I mean,
well, hey, Corey, at least you're thinking about them because I'm not.
But I don't know. It's on the internet. You can stop it and start it anytime you
don't
want to.
have to listen to the whole goddamn show,
and you don't have to listen to the whole thing if you don't want to. Fuck it. I mean,
go take a shit. Go do whatever you got to do. Don't worry.
I know when I'm working, I like long shows because I'm sitting up there and I can like you said break it up and listen to it later and do whatever. I'll take it, put it in the car with me.
Right.
So I don't know what your problem is. Shut the fuck up.
Calm down, Corey.
Calm down,
like Christian Bale.
What do you not fucking understand? No, co-host. No. You get it. They don't get it.
Hey, look, Corey.
No.
No.
All right, people. So we're done here.
Yes, we're done. Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody.
See you later, you losers. Listening to a goddamn 4-hour show. You dummies.
Could have watched The Dark Knight twice.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, people.